buhlungu fethu uhlobo nje ngikhule ngayo fethu with all my friends having all this privilege dog bakwazi ufumana zonke ezwe. I had to humble myself dog. I really had to humble myself. Linganisa situation le apha kumu fethu yabo. But the one thing that I love about that era as well is the fact that noba beninganayo, that didn't take me away from wanting to know about it. Yeah, boy. I can correlate the same thing with my love for computers as well. So xa unganayo into uyathanda ukucima as a person ba yo ayikho enye indlela uba mandiyifumane lewe so that can stop you as a person dog. Yo.
I can't believe I was young as fuck, Joe. Except this nigga bragging to me that he has a car.
Did he ever like engage now with the experience of having a console? Because I think everyone who was like a first-time owner, who owned a console, had this sort of even though you knew them, you are out.
That was my homie. Another thing never changed, bro. Like,
and ekwazi ba uyayincanywa fethu idlala lewe nami fethu nandibekelo ngaphandle dude 2 hours thanda too much izinto khoma ecaleni wena.
When you don't have something you know better than the person that has it, bro.
It was always like that, Kumu dog.
Nigga, you flexing on me because I ain't got it.
Yeah, that's
when
the only.
I got the PS3, he was so fucking jealous. That guy, his dad bought him ASAP. No, but like 3 months later. Yeah, this dude.
Did it feel like he was always competing with you, like Njebeni Cool?
Yeah.
Because like the older you get, the more you realize, by yo, some people bra, have been running a competition now, and you would find yourself you were less privileged than them. And I think that's also another thing that made other people jealous about me, is the fact that me not having that didn't stop me from learning about it. And whenever I got an opportunity to use it, I would use it better than the person who had it. Like, no, man, I can do this. I'm smart, bruh. And I seeked out. And any opportunity in Fumanayo, I would use whatever I learned when I didn't have it, and I would practice that. The owner would be like, how did you know how to do that?
Exactly, nigga. Stop playing.
Sujala too. And now look at me now, seeing it as an advantage because I would have been complacent. Just imagine all your parents, just imagine all your wishes, your parents that you wanted, you eventually got. Do you think there's that you would have learned if you didn't get that opportunity?
The lessons, those lessons involved there, they're the ones you need to learn. That's why I feel like privileged kids, life will knock them harder when they go out in their own in the world, I feel like. Because the privilege was, because I've seen that in high school, Boy, they're scared to go out of high school now, because shit, like, but never.
Yeah, it's like never wanting to grow up, bruh. Wanting always to be under that uniform, allowances, and yet here we are, it's not about messing up food, it's just that we were ready for the world and whatever it had to offer us. And I'm so glad that I had failed dog in high school, because there are in things that you are supposed to be set on, especially when you're a certain age. And that age will only come once, bruh. And certain mistakes you only have to make once, man.
Yeah.
For you to see, if I continue with this path, especially if I get a new page, I'm not going to get Lennon Funai, so I'd rather make the sacrifices and go to the path less traveled. Because so you have to make new decisions.
Imagine if you actually continued doing the stuff you did after you failed. There's people I've seen that did that.
Yeah.
Are you fucking stupid, but you want to fail the second time?
And it has to do with that thing you have to accept. It will never be the same again, fed. And when I instilled honesty in the way I moved, I started to hold myself responsible for everything. Even that were not even in my control, but like there is something I can do about it. And attitude is everything, man. It's you trying to get out of your own head. With one small incremental step, I can make a change, man. I can't measure that change over a minute one. And I think that is exactly one of the things that can make a person slip. Is them trying to make new decisions, and already a week later they're trying to review those decisions. You have to be patient. Yeah, you have to be patient with yourself. And this year, it's made me fall in love with more and more with myself, because when I put that responsibility on me, it means there's a standard that I have to reach myself with those personal goals. I can lie, as much as I can to the outside. But when I'm alone, there are those promises that I made to myself that I need to review. And I've made it a habit, dog, to not avoid Lando, but make it an essential. It's me integrating the dark side of my character into everything that I do, because I am capable of evil that I can't run away from. So to me, an ideal man is a man who's a monster but can control that monstrosity. He knows when he needs to be tender. He knows when he needs to be wild. Yeah,
do you know that I feel like as men, not even women, women have it too, but I feel like we have it more like that animalistic part of us.
Because we carry the masculine energy. That's why we the protector. We are the people that go out there and go find the food. They are the ones who make sure that the home is running steadily.
They make a home. You might have a house.
Yes.
But you don't have a home without a woman.
Without a woman.
I see that with my dad. My dad lives alone, but now.
And it's a result of all his relationships, and too much of our masculine traits to dominating. But there are other instances where we need to entertain the feminine energy.
He thinks he's the man, that's why.
And you see him entertaining Zonga's energies where he has taken him.
It's 9. 9 o'clock, half past 9.
You're putting in work, bro.
Yo, we're recording that song. It was a party. Like the beat was right in front of us. It was actually made, not a downloaded beat now. So I was like, shit, this is dope.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That's actually good, bro.
Nah. Bullet was even crazy. It was like, he said, I must make a tape. I'm like, for sure, me and you, we gotta do that shit. That was fucking set 2022, dog. Welcome to my hood where they chop it off, leave you in the motherfucking grave. Niggas be stupid, messing with the God. You need to chill and behave. I can make it work for me, make you my hard-working slave. You need to watch what you say. Like an animal, you'll be tame. These kids, they be hard to drink. And the pills, yeah, shit to kill for real. They popping and shit for the thrill. Yeah, for the thrill. They popping and shit for the thrill. Yeah, moving, I'm moving. Like you will, fuck 'em, yeah, I'm freestyling.
Jack Bullet and Blood are together. They're walking together. Something's up.
It's blood. I'm talking about it.
Jack Bullet and Blood are together. They're walking together. Something's up. Something's definitely up. And
This is nice, bro.
She call me through, cause a nigga got a hammer. Strike that shit like lightning, nigga, if you ain't got no manners. I got that big for your bitch, that's something she can't handle. You never done it your property if you ain't changing matches. Wanna be a millionaire without getting the masters. She really to me, but to you she fucking ratchet. Because her memories about to me, you fucking ashes. Jack Bullet, not a sense of dropping bodies like it's fashion. My dog Jamie, I think he's throwing attention. Still fucking on your bitch and she don't want me to go faster. Shot that nigga by mistake, it don't matter. He fell down to the ground, the bitch I saw only hit salad. The way damage, so young Bullet, like a disaster. I'm only around you cause all these bitches got ass.
Oh, that nigga Bush hard. Yo, we're gonna invest in this
He's probably harder than a lot of people who call themselves rappers.
Bruh! Did you hear that boss? The boss!
Oh, he's so chilled, bruh. He's so chilled, dude. I think the other thing that has made this even more gratifying for Mna is the fact that what I hear and what I see in some people, it corresponds. And you can't lead ngapambili ngobuntswembu bakho, but the work doesn't show in anything, dog. And it's hard for me to respect a nigga who's not moving as how he is talking. Now, especially with you, a lot of y'all yeah, you talk the talk, but you ain't walking the walk. But now, in Fundisile Lanuba, watch how a nigga moves. Yeah, doesn't matter nobutini. We're not just judge him on how he moves. Yeah, you are you because of how you move. Yeah, you can say all the things in the world. Say, I'm the greatest, I'm this. But when shit comes to shove, and now ufuna ube in a position where you have to deliver, you placed now between a rock and a hard place, can you deliver? And abanye abantu ke abakwazi banjiyana, dog, because no, they're not attentive to their own pathway. Noba kungavuka ekuseni kuthiwa kasinike we-motivate 10 minutes sandovuka sibali, already system is up. Because I've normalized that the moment I get up, I must not spend more than 10 minutes in bed. Because once I do already, Mindy loses the dog. Yeah, well, so it's standards that you as a person that you place on yourself. Yeah, well, so when you love what you're doing to every day, you look forward to doing it. You can't wait to wake up, dog. Yeah. You can't wait to have the conversations. You can't wait to read. You can't wait to listen to anything that is constructive. Because already, by you waking up, you've made the intention to say, you see, namhlanje, I'm only going to seek the positive. I'm only going to seek what's going to take me even closer. That's why I always emphasize, place a brick a day. There are those who are even going to throw stones at you. Sometimes you don't even need to go look for the bricks. They're already there. They're waiting for you. And the moment they throw it your way, use it, bro. Any form, negativity, positivity, you take, you use, bro. Because at the end of the day, there's something you can learn from it.
Anything, yeah, even a negative energy.
Yeah, we're talking about you're going to be optimistic, Anjan. So even in a negative situation. So this year, this last part of this year, I'm just going to be teaching myself how to handle my emotions. How even when others, if it are out of themselves, I need to stay within myself. Because at the end of the day, my message is not going to be clear if I'm ruled by emotions. My emotions are going to work and do whatever they please. Yeah, Bona. So I admire men who can handle their emotions, because that's one of the key components of becoming a better man. How to handle your emotions. How to not let anything and a lot of negative things not get to you, and understand there's a reason why is it always as it. I've said it previously, negativity is just thrown at you for a reaction. If you don't give it the reaction, then it's not going to function. Izawusebenza njani ungayinikanga any of your attention.
Facts.
So I think we live in the most privileged time ever, Faith, where you choose what you want to believe. You choose what you want to pay attention to. And anything at any moment, if it's bothering you or it's making you feel some kind of way, you can say, no, this doesn't serve me. How about I focus on what's going to serve me? How about I seek out the relationships that are going to give me that kind of value? Because there are people, there was yourself in another state of growth. You missed the fact that when you had to be aware in order for you to learn all these things. So you see, you already have been involving yourself in some sort of surrender. And with every try, you become even more better at it.
Yo!
Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this nigga, I need to be on that fresh bro. You know, freaking challenge with them. Niggas be asking me, you growing an afro type shit, dog. I'm not doing bro, it's nice seeing you like this, dog.
I was like, nah, I need to cut.
But niggas never gonna cut the facials, though.
I am gonna cut out them, but nah.
Them shit's cool. Them nigga like Rick Ross. Skinny Rick Ross.
Fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, bro, what you on?
Nah, I'm just chilling, man. I was about to go home now. I was like, yeah, 2.30. Maybe we could record or something.
Yeah,
I
man.
was thinking that, man.
You know what's crazy, dog? I got my console here, G.
No keys. You have a console? Yo! When was that? When did you?
Ooh, 2008.
Yo, wait. That's specific.
Yeah, this is 2008, bro.
I used to play GTA, the Ballad of Gay Tony. Yummy, bro. Yo!
Damn, bro.
Yo! GTA, dog. Yo! Do you know what's my favorite game I ever played on this? I ever played. Fuck the FIFA. Fuck all. Nah, nigga.
Splinter Cell.
No.
Give me away.
Saints Row 2.
Oh, you did say it's like Grand Theft, your Grand Theft.
It's like Grand Theft, but it's his own shit. Hey, boy, you rapping gangs. I'm Saints Row, nigga. I'm the leader of Saints Row. Put me jail. The first thing, I'm passing out of jail. Yeah, boy. Company needs just on Carlos, another Spanish guy. Yeah, boy, you got busted in. What about coma? He wasn't in a coma, but like stretch
Yeah.
because he wanted to be next to you because you were out in a coma for 6 years. The first Saints Row, the last scene, I jumped off his cap, his blue. All the Saints were killed, you know, because they switched up. The other guy became a policeman years after I've been in the coma.
Yeah.
People thought I was dead. And I pulled me pass out of jail. Yeah, but I'm in Stillwater now. Yeah, boy, black from Stillwater. Yeah, boy, I got no dollars. And they're gonna pull out of my John and rob it. Don't think in passing. It's so crazy, man. That's the best shit. Because you're like, you for man, play it as an adult. Yo.
Except we need to develop that shit. We're talking about Grand Theft Cape Town.
Not even Cape Town, G. Imagine. Like cookies and culture and those type of things.
Look, Cape Town.
Okay, Cape Town as a whole. Take the map.
Many zones, many black, highly have actual battles. That type shit. But my uncle is a small.
Sometimes it's got you see, you program that shit. Okay, but sometimes I'll rob you right now. Nah, bro. That's needed, bro. That's why I always talk about the developers. Yo, develop mnyama ngasendibaleni nayo.
4PF, let's say 4PF is signing gaming developers. That's dope.
Who's in 4PF?
Nah, man. The owner of 4PF is Baby, man.
Baby signing gamers. Because you know why? Because I think he knows his son likes gaming. Man. His son is on Twitch, bro. He's a streamer. That light is a stream. He's making his own.
Even Two Chains is
Yeah,
putting
they
his
got
light on.
baby dog.
Even Two Chains is putting his light on, man. With the podcast.
Yeah, you see the podcast like that?
In the podcast, like asking dumb shit. Only later that
What I like that.
Yeah.
Nah,
And yeah,
I'm
you
not
ask a
to talk about
12-year-old to go up, but they don't know even what a podcast is. Bro.
Yo, that's true. Because we had a testament of that.
Yeah,
day.
dude.
This
When
other kid didn't know, Joe.
wow, what the fuck a podcast?
Nah, he saw the mic, bruh.
Yeah, he saw the mic.
What are you guys doing?
I asked if you're recording. You make music. Not music, sir.
We're not making music, man. We're on the podcast, man. Like what? What is a podcast?
Yo, that's kids being kids, bro. Yo.
Yeah, it's also opportunity for us to school them, bro.
Imagine schooling a 12-year-old, bro. 10 years is gonna be 22 only, G. Don't you fucking... We don't deep that like way sometimes, but only in 10 years times about 22. That's young, G. 22.
Yeah.
Imagine you in those teenagers, he separates the drinking. I'm telling him to say away. Yeah, I can drink now and then, but that's away. Not the essence. But that's away. It's not because we love through that. Like that's not the thing of life. Exactly. We had to do it ourselves. At one point, we had to go through it. But if your kid goes through it now, I hope the time I realize it's early, bro. Because if your kid realizes when he's 30 that I'm gonna say fuck you, son.
Then ukufundisa ntoni
so
all this
long.
time.
Fuck you, son.
Fuck you, son. I'm in that generation. Nah, fuck you, son. Fuck you. How about that?
Fuck out of my face,
no,
bro.
nah.
Fuck out of my face,
Nah,
bro.
you tripping. You tripping, bro.
Damn.
Ungayisusi
It's
kaloku.
crazy. We're gonna be those dads.
Nigga, don't fuck with me.
Nah.
Don't fuck
You
with
think I'm playing? Man. I'm gonna take your shit. I'm gonna take your shit.
Beat your ass.
I will baby. When I'm getting down, when up. Tatano Yanam. Like it's a son, man. It's not a daughter. So the son, you must be hard on him. Yeah. You must be hard on the son, bro.
Yeah, obviously.
Because they're the ones fair
Yo,
to.
experiment on boys.
Because girls, at least girls, you can feel it's like, okay, is this the reason why you did all this? Yo. Yeah, but girls, you have to squeeze and take the shit out. Ask them a lot of questions to get the answer. A guy, I'm losing. Like, what's wrong with you, bruh?
What you want?
What are you on, bruh? Why are you taking these drugs?
What you want?
Is it me? Was I too hard on you, G? Yeah. Sometimes, bruh, sometimes the parents are too hard for you.
As we up our level of consciousness, we need to revisit our past and how we were raised. We could have gone through a trauma that ebudaleni we are unaware of exist. And then what happens, it manifests in relationships that you have, either with the female, with the opposite sex, or in even friendship, family, because the reason why I'm talking like this is because there's a series that's on Netflix, You, with that nigga who's
obsessed.
Yeah,
my niggas watch that.
And then umchita. Nah, man, he's kind of having mommy issues because mama kumchita wayezange close naye. So there's this girl like umchita ngiyanoba outlines okanye uyayi highlight le character into umchita yabo and so on. But umchita is in his own head, be like, no man. Yes, I didn't realize all these years that I have mommy issues. I think this girl is onto something.
I feel like the mommy issues part is the love. He ain't got that love.
Hey, we're dog. Yeah. And there was no emotions that were shown, because Umchita, I think part of the reason why he turned out that way is that lack of empathy, man. No emotion showed, especially by the mother. And then on the other side, there was an abusive pair. Umchita wayemvalela kula cage. Abakubekho incwadi phana for always till, and he was teaching him mamela ndikufundisa discipline ezincwadi you have to take care. Apparently those books have to be kept at a certain temperature, zicleanwe zithini. Kaloku umchita he's this dude kaloku osebenza library yabona, but he's sneaky, man. Umchita he stalks la mamedi. Dude, you have to watch it.
Season 3, season 2, he finds his match.
Like that. But unjani, bruh. She's even worse, bruh. Because his match ends up being envious of anything. Any girl ngathi has an affection nayo uyayibulala.
Umchita ucisha amamate angathi amachita ngathi afuna imate yakhe. Mate na bethala we. Nombone encokola la uta songs for coffee no.
Yeah. But when you're not giving me love and no. Yeah, they happen all the time, bro. They happen all the time.
Niggas get killed there because of business, mate.
I will leave because of me.
And when you didn't know about you were messing up with inmate you home that can't be messed up with.
That's why you must never take chicks from there, Bob. It's your life you risk.
You must bring chicks there.
You must bring your own girl and dance with your own girl. Yeah.
Clean.
I'm not going to play. I
fuck with private lounges.
Yo, that's what the piece. If you're gonna drink, bro, let's chill. I wanna show people I know, bro. Say, what is this? I must go to random people. That's what it's ngapha man qimbana wena busy way nje ngomxelela imethe call or something like that.
Yeah.
But since he's by far and he's seeing when body needs you talking to the chick, yeah, this guy popped.
Private lounge is the shit.
What are your family gonna say?
Yeah, that's why, guys, you should always know what you're getting yourself into. I was saying this morning, guys, and I'm not afraid of saying it in their face. Beautiful chicks are dumb, bruh. If you could find out the kind of relationships that they are in.
Exactly.
Dude, they're giving opportunities out to that or playing with them. From a distance, get to know their lives. Because sometimes the attraction here to see is drive pambili. Silibalo no get her into actual facts. What kind of dudes is this girl fucking with? That says a lot. There's a lot of affection that had fallen off for a lot of chicks because Nandi driver ilawe physical attraction unjani until I got to know the energy, the kind of niggas are around you and I even wasted my time was entertainer with this kind of energy, dog. Because that's our recipe that I always say as niggas, we prepare ourselves for the inevitable disaster because uqhutshwa ilawe yo dala namfuna lo mntana and nizamfumana Like sawuyambona lo muntu kuba fethu she's messing with people fethu apha around wena.
Nobody meeting at high. You house, yeah. Next day. Ah, but look at the house. Tell your phone is on. Yo, I'm like, I'm also done shit. Niggas be desperate.
But niggas, I give niggas
We all like that. We all like
I
that.
give niggas credit for running on.
Hayi Sungs uleqe umntana fethu ngoku wayiqale high school wade waphuma waphangela ude wabhadla ngoku dude. And when are you still knocking, bruh? You
I've
still
never done that.
and you still been moving the same way you've been moving, bruh.
Like, have you ever been in that situation?
Ngake ujonge ufuna yena so much that awuhoyi nezinye izinto.
Izoyibona a year after.
Yayibona kangokuza
bona xofumela opportunity bawulapha icango wakho. We in the physics class kazi yemalimu. Then she's here. I'm like, "Hi, I'm all right." She just looked at me. And now what the soup? But uvile ba hi, hey, right? Uvela hey, she's like, "Hey. I was right." One job, man. She palapant, I can't speak your language. Obviously, but I can't speak your language. Then the one get up. Oh, can you hear me now? But yeah. How are you doing? You have to switch out. Go with looks and then slow as scores.
You know, there's a difference between ungwema ngesixhosa nongwema ne-English.
Yeah.
So approach you are ngesixhosa look. You are your boy is like smooth already. But English, hey, you must think of the accent you use. You don't want to sound like a bar.
You don't understand rough, but
Yeah, like
The pronunciations yeah, qhutshwa kaloku ukufuna kwakho so much that I'll investigate anga
we ended up becoming good friends, and I'm not.
Away, bro.
Tanaka, Kamalak.
Yo, I was
Ended
just
up
about to say,
becoming good
have you been in that situation like where there's a chick, like she digs your energy,
Yeah.
Can't is it home, but like she's always up on you, man. Like she's always holding up on you.
I feel.
But except your friends are after her, man.
That happens most of the time.
And then your friends, they're actually very busy. She's always with you.
That happens, bro, but it's tricky. What can we do? I mean, one of my needs is like, is aiming for a lot of shit. Like, Mumdo doesn't like to see you having good shit, bro. Most people, once you have something doing,
I feel like that's what they saw, because they saw this chick was close to me as fuck. Do you know, I was actually getting pissed about all this shit. Like, I used to tell this chick, why are you talking to this nigga? Why are you talking to this? But she keeps on telling me, I want to be friends. But come on. Nah, you know I wouldn't be chilling with you for long.
Yeah, these chicks, bro.
We used to tell each other. We used to tell each other we love each other, bro. I love you. I love you. Whoa! Uti, you love me, but you're busy with other niggas.
Yeah, this
And you put me in the friend zone, dog.
These chicks with blackmail.
Big chicks are evil, bro.
Chicks with blackmail, bro. But yeah, they don't want us to express our masculinity nowadays. That's what I've found out.
Yeah, they zipping it out.
Yeah,
They want
but
us to be like chicks, bro.
When we express masculinity, we seem sexist and shit. Bro, we're supposed to be bravado and manly. Because we are the men. We are the males of the gen. Born.
They want to be like us, bro. That's what's the
They're
problem.
chasing that authority. That's what I found out. Because they feel like if you're a man, you're the head, you have authority. Plus, nature's already given us bodies to tell us, like, say, we are fucking different. More men are more masculine than women because they are the ones that are meant to work most of the time. Not saying women should work on themselves, but man is supposed to be the provider, as nature's supposed. Like, even in lions, bro, you can't change that.
Lions are like that.
The male
Cheetahs.
You know,
Yeah,
every fucking
all of
animal.
them.
And we also mammals, bro.
Yeah,
And, the
we are
sun.
animals too, basically.
In a way, so why not abide by the laws of nature, man, and just stop with this sexist shit? Because it's not sexist, basically, but it's the energies that each carries. Because if I carry my energy as a masculine man around a woman that carries her energy as a very feminine woman, that's gonna be clash,
So
bro.
grand. Like you guys can't even last years.
You
bro.
know,
like can
it's
even
gonna
get
clash.
married to this chick,
Bruh, you're gonna crash with that chick and be there because she understands that her femininity comes to a certain law. She knows where your masculinity comes in. Like, for example, if a house was robbed and niggas came in and like guns, it's not the female that's gonna jump.
Exactly. She expects you to go. She expects you.
That's the bravado. But when it comes to household shit, she trying to be manly, but she don't do the man shit. I will tell her, bitch, go and get the niggas. You fuck. Because they say that's what they expect. They expect you to be masculine for as long as they want. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's always an objective. And you gotta be a fucking bank for these chicks, bro. You gotta have a whole lot of guap for them. You gotta have a whole lot.
It's mainly because of the work and the time, man. I haven't been putting in too much work. I don't want to lie. But the time also is just sliding by, and I feel like I'm not doing nothing. Another thing that's holding me up is as a result has got entry as and that's stressing me out because I should be applying to other colleges already. But it's cool, man. It's cool. So as I was saying, man, these chicks, man, they fuck us up, man. They put us in mentalities that when we get to those mentalities and they be like, nah, we don't actually want you like this. We have to change for them. But when you trying to get them to change for you, it's a whole different story. And the compromise Kubo works one way, of which is that's not how it works, bro.
Bro, we doomed, bro. Our generation, we doomed, bro. Chicks.
But not doomed.
I personally feel like that. Unless, do you know I have a different approach now?
Yeah.
You know, with a girl now, if I would ever be busy with a girl, I end up having a relationship with her.
Like a serious
I'd
one.
first be friends with the girl, bro. No cap. I'm on that wave
let me
because
just tell you,
I want to get to know you first.
Let me just tell you that most relationships don't work out because of. You remember that he just explained that most of us are chasing the physical.
Yeah.
We're physically attracted to the what you call the phenotype of the person, how he looks on the outside, but we don't really know what's happening inside. But Umdu is that type of shit she's into. Tata no men's are happy. What shit she's been through. People, you don't really know what. You're just attracted to the phenotype. But then many people get into relationships without being friends first. That's being doomed, bro. Do you realize we can be friends for like 20, 25 years? And in those 25 years, you can't say we haven't fought. You can't say we have...
we have a relationship. Even if we're friends, we have a relationship.
That's loyalty, bro. That's one of the things 21 Savage also preaches. Like you have to have loyalty more than love, bro, because
love really don't mean jack.
You know,
see, love is just a feeling. You love somebody and still stand in their back. It would take much love. You can love somebody without being attached. Oh, that guy's a poet.
As we approach the latter years of this year, I'd like to be thankful for everyone who's contributed quite beautifully to this journey.
Easy for us, man.
Like, so I go with an hour, bro. Hey, niggas don't know, bro. Just chill at your crib all the time.
Oh, that fucking time. I miss those times, no cap.
Like said, there was a brotherhood that time, I remember.
A real one, you know. And like many niggas.
What happened to the brotherhood, man?
Nah, man, a lot of shit had to change, man.
Give me your honest.
A whole lot of things had to change. If I have to call my opinion, who can get the plan?
Nah, you can go
Okay.
first.
Both of you guys, the one thing I would appreciate from you, to me,
Yeah.
because now you're a distance from it. You are part of like experience, but
Yeah.
what has it taught you guys? Sorry.
Yeah.
Bro. And what more can you say, Igbana, you are grateful for as our experiences, because there is something that you took from that.
Yeah.
Because you guys are no longer together. So and I'm just interested in how things went, man.
Yeah. Oh man. Where do I start, man? It's a long ass story, but it's not very long, yeah. But hey, I don't know where to start it though. With the bando, days before the bando, or what?
Start
Because
with the days when
yeah,
good, man.
days before the bando, man. Like we normally first clicked, first clicking me and my cheese is year 60. Year 60 is such a monumental place when you think about it, because a lot of shit happened. I met a lot of good people at 60 that I consider good friends. And shit had to happen because that time we didn't have the landika kakoko. Yeah, we didn't have the the covering, the couple type of stuff. So we used to just chill outside. Then it happened that I got a flat, because I didn't get a flat immediately after I moved into my house. And thing is, I grew up at Kukulet and then came back around 2019. Then I couple my shit 2019, later on 2019. And that was when I also was starting to bandize the APA.
Correction, dog.
Yeah.
You didn't couple with us later, 2019, sorry. Because I remember at the beginning of 2019, when I started knowing you, I came to your crib with Mello.
Except 2019.
Yeah, early on,
man, 2019. I moved to Cooks in 2018. That's my bad. Because my mom died 2018, so I had to move back to Cooks, you know. And then that's when I didn't have a flat. Then I started chilling with niggas in the 66. early on 2019, that's when shit started happening because I got a flat in December 2018, around that time. So January, it was crossover shit, it was mad shit happening that time. A lot of shit like really, really happened. Yo. But long story short, I met these niggas like through chilling and weed, basically. And then we started vibing because obviously we won't just chill with people and not know what they're about, you know. Because eventually if you chill with people, you have to lead up to somewhere productive with those type of people, you know. Like I met these niggas through vibing, and you know, you can't just chill with people and not know what the people is about, man. So we had to like kind of cut ourselves in pieces so that people can kind of see what's inside. Not through saying that you had to share your personal experience for them to get where you're at, but through artistry, you know. Art is a part of us, and we were rapping.
You know how we connected for real? Just through that hip hop, man.
Yeah, no keys. That's what I was about to
Hip-hop
mention,
got
man.
us
Together
crazy,
properly.
yeah.
Because most of the time when we were sitting in my house, we'd chill, get stoned, lean some shit up, or drink some shit up. Then after that, it would be just a vibe, man. Someone would play a beat, and then we'd be on bars. We used to do freestyles like, damn. The bando was the bando, you know. A lot of shit that came out of the bando was, in spite of its negativity of the things that we were doing, like drinking and stuff, a lot of positive vibes came into play after that. Not just to play to show us that we were just kids, but to play to show us that playing was important at that time, you know. There's this thing in that movie, what do they call this movie? Tag, yeah. There's that subtitle, or there's that quote at the beginning of Tag, the movie Tag, that says, we never grow old because, we never stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing, you know. And that shit really come into play. I'm saying that in what aspect? Through wordplay, through ukezilana, through all that, we kind of picked up traits of our characteristics, you know, what type of person Blood is, what type of person Mellow is, what type of, and you got to be able to break down, okay, sometimes I'm going to be able to have to take certain criticism because I value Blood to a certain level, and I value Blood's opinion to a certain level, and that came with first knowing them, you know. And the main reason that niggas were able to go and chill with me at my house is because as much as I would say I was welcoming, they were also having welcoming spirits to me, you know. They also gave me that vibe, okay, they're good enough for me to bring to my house, you know, and good enough for me, you know. And in that art, in the artist perspective, a lot of shit changed for me a lot. Like not just J, like I got to learn a lot through how to use your voice, just through chilling with my niggas, how to better your lyrics, with chilling with my niggas, and how to have a better pen game. And I can say through how we got to know each other and through chilling at bando and getting to know each other deeply, a lot of shit had to come to an end, you know, because we were growing, and as we grow, egos also grow, you know. And J. Cole said it, it's just physics. Like egos will clash, man, like especially when there's a lot of egos, and there's those people whose egos was like, you can't tame it, you know. Like some people can have their big egos, but in front of other people spite their egos and be like, okay, fuck you ego, I'm gonna be in this moment and dwell with this, what I'm talking about with people. And it had to change, man, because a lot of people started knowing, you know, a lot of stuff outside the bando, you know, and started learning a lot of stuff out the bando, and that took their time, bro, out of the bando. And that's how I can say it really started to fall apart, because after all that getting to know each other and all in all. And another thing that made me connect with the G's is Black Mellow was friends with my cousin Upalo, yabo. So from a young age, you know, like from 11, you know, 12ish, the time they started having these Quran laws. So they were sort of in the same group. They were fighting against the same enemies, you know. So
like
since
the same gangster.
Yeah, same gang basically.
Same gang.
So when you're in the same gang, you get to know who's in the gang and what's happening in the gang, what. And what had to happen is they had to break up at the end because growth came into play, you know.
Yeah.
That growth that came into play is the same type of growth that came into play when we came to us as niggas and the band was splitting up. Because what I counted on, yes, what they bayabadibanisa amajita kukuransa notini, but growth made them see man Qurans line. man say uhlala ke kona anguline, and then with that had to make them search for their own selves, and then insert
outside of
like gang,
wow,
you know,
yeah,
that's
I
how
get
also
you,
I feel like this gang bando shit split, you know.
yeah, G.
So as I'm saying, they saw a lot of aspects in life and saw that, like, say, I have these likings to this certain shit, and one doesn't have likings to this certain shit, and maybe I'm passionate about this certain shit, but one doesn't even like it. So I can't align my passion with someone who doesn't like it. Maybe for this amount of time, I'll need to split from him so that I'm able to focus on my passion.
Yeah,
you know?
so you can chase that unknown, dog. So
Exactly,
you can chase the
exactly.
unknown.
So as that was happening, they had to split, but as luck would have it, life came around again and they got to meet each other again through the years. And through the years that they met each other again was through me, luckily, because I was already friends with the whole of the GKA at that time. The GKA that I knew. Of which there were additional members of the GKA, but I was friends with the GKA that I knew, the ones that were recording, which is Blood, Black Mellow, and Kaj. Those are the niggas that I got to. And then when niggas came into play, like Gods was a big nigga, man. Like, he knows where he's at. That you know, Blood, you know. Yeah. So Gods is like another nigga, you know.
Nigga.
Yeah, man. No keys. So we got to meet like niggas like that, and we got to have other niggas like Glenn, Stone. Like, there were additional niggas, obviously, but the main niggas became or kept the main thing, and the main thing was being niggas until a certain point in that, because some niggas, as much as they were our niggas, they weren't really chilling with us a lot. Yeah, bro. They would just come here and there, and we know the circle, you know. Yeah. But you know, the circle was still the circle, whether they were there or not.
I used to pull up alone to this nigga.
You know,
a lot back then, 2019.
And did you guys like question that?
Nah,
Whatever,
like
Kaloku Mamel, no, I wouldn't say question it in that kind of sense. I was like, when Usungs is pulling up on you when Lukho alone, you kind of get that mindset by yo izinto asafani nakuqala yabona ba hey asadityaniswa zizabe sasidibaniswa nayo.
Exactly, that's
and now you start to have different conversations ngoku nosungs ngoku.
That was almost at the end of the band, like the last few months. That's how it was going. I used to go to this nigga and the niggas
And it's
never
like
used to talk.
bekunqandwa iway already. It's like when the writing is on the wall yayibona ba yonke le izochaya dog. It's like if you just keeping each other here just in the loop yabo so much that ningafuna ubonana ba yo I found my way, G.
Yeah.
And I think he way underrated kakhulu because some other people feel to in this lifetime they will take it as if uqabene and I. Can't you outgrew the person, which is there's nothing wrong. Yeah. It becomes even more gratifying because when it comes to myself, I'm running my own race, bruh. I'm only trying to be better than the nigga that I was yesterday.
The nigga that you're looking at in the mirror, bro.
Yeah.
That's the only nigga I compete
That's the only
with,
person
nigga.
I want to be better than.
Who you trying to compete with?
Yeah, that's the person who sets the standard. So I've seen a lot of unfulfillment coming from that because now a person ends up now wanting to mess your way because they haven't fully grasped the fact that in this life we outgrow one another. There's nothing wrong with
and they
that.
take it personally.
And they take it personal. You left me, man.
Yeah.
You were supposed to give me that kind of move. So now what are the conversations are you having now no Lukho? Because no nyabona ba ngathi the numbers ziyachitheka ngoku bro.
Man, let me just make my words short, net, so that I can give blood to like give his part of how the bando influenced him and all that. In ending, man, what I was wanting to say is the similarities between how Paulo outgrew that gangsterism shit and came to know himself and then got to meet Melo at a later stage. And it's the same as how it went in the bando. Like, we got to know each other, know what we like, know what one needs to focus on, know what one needs to spend more time on.
Know
so much
who is good at what.
So much that it had to take our time away from the bando days, and certain amount of people stopped showing up because they started taking life seriously. And that's what needs to happen, man. You need to start looking at life at an angle where you can see that you are at a better place to make a better place for other people,
Yeah,
and it's all about bettering yourself most first, so that you can be able to better other people. It's like an emotionally damaged person can't fix another emotionally damaged person. That person needs to fix himself first, then come to that person to be able to fix. So it's sort of like that. People had to see that they had to grow and find their way in life. And the bando split wasn't really, what can I say, personal, for my opinion, because people already knew, man, kind of saw it was coming, man. And amongst the things that was happening, a lot of people were really finding their way, as I'm trying to explain, man. And most of us were 18, 19. most of us were out of high school. Also, us were in grade 12. So we really didn't have
that
that
year
much
with the
time.
bando.
Yeah,
We were all in grade 12. Some niggas was in grade 11.
yeah,
That was the time.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was one of the niggas. We were like 2 niggas in grade 12.
Yeah, it was you and Glenn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So me, I used to go to bands when I was fucking stressed out of shit, like school shit.
Yeah, to tell
And I
them,
blow off
like,
steam.
yo,
And I smoke weed there by him and chill. Vibe to music. Because I know that time is like the time for me to unwind.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
The-
you can explain, man.
Go ahead. Bro.
You
So
had to
now
calm
for
down.
me, yeah, that was the band was for that, man, and plus the relationships. You know, I used to fuck with, like, I had my nigga Gods there, and then I had bands. Sometimes it used to be Gods and I go to
Yeah.
bands.
Yeah.
A lot of instances it was like that, cause the nigga Gods used to live in NI3 at the time. Damn, that's such a long time ago. You think about it now.
Yeah, that nigga used to live down my street. NY3,
telling
rapping the
you,
block.
he was
bro.
rapping
I'm telling
the
you,
block.
bro.
You used to live in your street,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
Yo.
Oh, man, my
I
street
used to go
too
fetch
strong.
that nigga, and then you Diego bands, and then we chill, chop it up. You know, my nigga always loved weed, man. Now he's on a big weed shit now. He's collaborating with White Nice weed. Yeah,
Exactly.
dude.
that's
Taking
God.
up his game up and now.
Yo, he
bro.
knows
Taking
a
it to
lot.
another
He even
level,
uses
bro.
backwood. He's like,
That's
I don't
God,
use
no.
normal restless, bro.
see
Yeah,
that
this
backwood,
shit.
man.
He love that weed. I shout out to him, man.
Yeah,
But
man.
but even in the banner, that nigga was like the creative nigga, bro. Like that comes with ideas.
Yeah,
There's always him, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
that
keys,
nigga.
no keys.
I remember the values in Lagi from the band, man. There's a lot of things, bro.
Yo, bro, I can't even unpack them. Yo,
In
lot
Lagi,
of shit
we
happened,
like
man.
to act like we forget those times as people.
we
Joe.
are. We
I
like-
hate that the boy talks. I'm fit. Away. Move on to the
But
nigga.
those are the
Those are the
times
times you knew the nigga been scared. He been like brothers type shit.
Years, bro. And
Yeah,
I
man.
think if it when we are in grasp with ourselves and yes, when I look, we give ourselves ability to see when they are also on their pathway.
Yeah.
And when you learn to forgive yourself, you also give yourself a clean slate. I have been in many positions where I could have lived my life trying to please the other person. Okanye, I'm trying to rectify the mistakes
that's
of
what
the
happens
past.
in the friendships. And
Yeah, because awufumani value yakho fethu when you are around people who don't even mess with that kind of idea.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had to put the blame on myself because I allowed myself to attract such people into my life. Like, yo, dude, if they are around you and you don't like it, there's something you can do about it. How about you?
Break.
Yabo, take a break,
Let you
solitude,
time.
go into your hyperbolic
solitude
chamber,
is very, very
face all those hard things that you didn't even get an opportunity, because when you're around a lot of people, all you're hearing is noise, bruh. And is the voice in my head mine or is it other people? Now I need to mute everyone now. I need to hear mine.
Exactly.
Even if yo dog, you haven't been working out, fit. You can't be dreaming of having this kind of health, this kind of wealth and so on, and yet you can't even do the minimal.
Work towards it.
Yayibona lawe uhlale phasi ungizuyimamele dog, because you want what? You want progress. And when you want progress, you must have the ability ukuthi uthathe the things uzuqale ba, yo, you're not good enough now. You're not good enough, but you can work
To be good enough.
to be good enough.
Yo, man, I just wanna add, like, shout out to the guy we just saw at the mall, man. You were that timer.
Hey,
Yo,
man,
I
hey,
was
man.
so,
My
I was so
G.
like,
My G.
indulged in what he was saying. I'm like, yo, this guy, why didn't I have an old head like that in my life? Jeez, ungahlala naye kukoko.
Damn, bro.
Ungahlala naye kukoko. Old head and shit.
Man, shout out to that
It's
nigga,
just
man.
experiences and
Shout
experiences.
out to that
It
nigga,
just
man.
shows that we're on the right path, man.
And you know, we were talking about that with the songs, man. Like, you see, just off that energy and conveying it off, yeah, bro. He came into play. And just think, it's not just that nigga that was talking to us.
The man.
Also the Oliet,
You are the
because
man
people
also.
comprehend the type of shit we talk about, you know. And Abandu, it's like you said, that they think about this shit, but not
they
really
don't,
talk about
yeah.
it, you know. When we got to like verbalize what we know and what we feel like in the system, in the systemated life, they got to see that they're not the only ones that are doubting how the system works.
Yeah.
Did you hear that
And-
lady? She was like, I tell the parent to answer, tell the kid the shit.
I'm
like,
it's not the responsibility of the school system to inform the kid of such things, Fethu.
Man.
And it's quite easy for us to get things that are gonna empower us if they are coming from a point of bamasfunde. Fethu, we need to make it a norm and teach our kids about our black heroes.
Yeah.
Not everyone who's a hero doesn't look like them. They need to see abantu abanjengabo, but they are creating nabo with nothing.
And see, that's what I've told myself. Like, look at how creative black people in the hood are without the guap, bruh. What the type of shit they can pull up without the guap, the stands, the fucking trolley cars, the fucking
They
what.
come up with
Bro,
your
they make that shit happen.
Stop them.
Just imagine if they had the guap. Just imagine if they had the guap.
They'll be liberating people, dog,
And man-
in that kind of instance.
and man-
Because I want this kind of energy to be contagious as well.
Yeah.
We need to make it a norm of supporting one another. Whereas now, wherever you are, uthi an opportunity comes, you're thinking about your network yako and who best can pounce on this opportunity.
Yeah.
Yayibona lawe?
Yeah.
Because
Big facts.
also, it's killing two birds with one stone.
Big facts.
You get the win, naye lamdo gets the win. Urekomendwe ngubani? We need to build Lando of I must help you without expecting anything.
Anything in
It's because
return, yeah.
kunyanzelekile. Fethu ubuntu, we need to practice it.
Yeah,
It's
bro.
inherent as the African. But how usoloko perpetuate information that is always making you doubt, westernized too much. That's why you don't value the African way. That's how you're gonna teach your kids. No, don't speak this language.
Okay.
You acting white whenever you smart, and you forget to go to the people that invented thinking are like you, black as you, with all the melanin in the world.
Bruh. A lot of shit happens, man, for us to be stripped down, man. And our lower needs, as we were saying, man. A whole lot of shit had to happen for us to grow. And like, even now, the bando is not just a history of our life. It's like a chapter. It's like something you can think to and have a lot of shit to say, you know. It's like grade 9. Grade 9 is a chapter in your life. Grade 10 is a chapter. Every grade is a chapter. You know,
I always thought about it like that too.
and every situation in life comes as chapters.
Like,
'cause-
if you think about it, like, you can think of like the grade 1, I had this teacher.
Yeah.
Then you think about the experiences.
You have
and then
that
la mama
teacher.
zanya zasu.
Yeah.
In grade 2, I had this fucking loud ass teacher. Because I can
Chapters,
remember all I went through
chapters,
that shit.
chapters.
Chapter.
even in life, man,
'Cause
like
it's life,
the situations
experiences.
of life, like even losing someone, that's a chapter, bruh. And that's closing that chapter, especially when you lose them. Because when you think about them and think about the loss, you can convey so much stuff about them. You're like, when this person was here,
If I
I
did a different action, things wouldn't have been this kind of way.
Yeah.
If mhlambi khandenzele ekukunje and all
Yeah,
that, instead
yeah.
of you just being glad, dog, but that
you
shit
were able
happened.
to experience.
There too.
You know, the most thing I'm grateful for, like for people who were dead that were around me, is that I was able to experience them, like babone.
With their
Yes,
homes,
they
bruh.
sisters
No,
now, like you've
no.
seen them.
Other
That's
people are
true,
gonna
that's
come,
true.
like,
Kukho
you-
abantu abazawuzalwa, fam.
Ama, that are
Like
never
my
gonna
kid
know.
as well.
You know,
I'm gonna tell her about my mother. She's
You know,
never
never gonna
seen
see-
her
you know,
physically.
you know, it's chapters, man.
through. Yabo,
and
nozobona, but you see-
your little bit of like the characteristics that you took. Obvious, you have some shit that you do that your mom did, and you be like, yeah, man, I took that for a while. Even though it's a way of talking and it's passed down, like that whatchamacallit. You see, my mom was a whatchamacallit type of person, and when I got to think about my uncle was a whatchamacallit because we were so close. Now I'm a whatchamacallit type person, you know, and that can eventually pass on to my
trace
kid
it somewhere
because you
in
know,
your family
eh,
bloodline.
from tracing it and to be passed down.
You must pass them down.
Because except for it, the whatchamacallit
Yeah,
being
but like something.
it's something, man. Like when my kid's gonna say whatchamacallit, I'm gonna be like, hey, whatchamacallit. You know, that type of stuff. And there's a lot to be passed down also, as there are chapters in life and different chapters. There's a lot to be passed down also in family wise, like knowledge, where we actually come from. And that's what I feel like. Sorry for cutting the topic, but another thing I've noticed is that we don't really know our family histories that much. Like we
only
do
the
know we do know our family histories, but
deep.
like not that deep. Like, just think about it, bro. Can you trace your family back to 1920? Can you trace your family back to 1910? Hardly many of us can. Like, through not using technical means, like through finding out where they were originally from, and that happens, bro. And do you know what I blame for that happening, man, is the lack of communication in families now, especially the kids and their parents. Like, parents now are at that pace where they feel like they really need to work to make a future better for their kids, of which is that's the best part of it, but they're not attending to the emotional and curial means of the kid, because the kid will be crying for shit, and they don't come for that. Like, they're grieving for shit, and kids hide themselves. Like, people hide themselves in times of grief.
Bafumana only one aspect out of zonke zawe kanti zonke they need equal attention,
and they get to digest it in a way they're not supposed to digest it.
Well, but so interpret it as love. You ain't lying about that. Look at the kids that are messed up now, most of them.
And man, there's a lot. I know a lot of kids that really want to know about their grandfathers, their great grandfathers, but they never get the opportunity, because when they ask about that type of shit in their houses, they be like, yeah, man. Or for that specific person, I can understand also that the emotional journey it may take, like thinking about the shit that they had to experience with that person, and thinking, oh, now they have to explain. That should bring down a lot of tears also.
Because it's like you're reliving the memory.
Exactly. But in a way, it becomes negative to the kid now, because as the curial means that the one that I was trying to attend to also, the kids are curious to know where the fuck am I from, and I blame that not being able to communicate for even our history being lost down the line. Because if we were the parents that told our kids, ba dingubani wapi from P, obviously, if we go backwards, not forwards with it, like us telling our kids, then our kids telling our kids, like our parents telling us, their parents telling them, their parents telling them. If we could trace it down, we could understand our history more and more, because I feel like there's a lot in common.
Just
If you could hear it from our ancestors, and that's how the wisdom is passed. Because example with the mouth. The mouth is powerful to a black person in a way that folklore exists, and folklore exists in the same way or similar way 80 or 90% of the time as it was the same day or time it was invented. Those stories come from our grandfathers not having TV.
That shit in crash, bro. I remember
Jakalash are folklore stories that were invented by our grandfathers so that they were able to entertain the youngins, because the youngins' minds was full of imagination, so they could say to youngins that
so they were entertaining their imagination.
And now just imagine, just imagine if that was just not the folklore that was passed down. That's what I'm trying to come down to.
We were given the law and we didn't even know we were given it.
If it was the family traditions, the fact of, for example, imbeleko sayenza singabantu abangabaXhosa, but bambalwa bayaziyo ba why imbeleko sayenyanzeleka bayenziwe. Sayazi ba thina ufuna ukwenza imbeleko ukuze uzosineya, but we don't know the significance of imbeleko, like imbeleko yantoni, of which is ayonto maybe yathi hamba ithethwa leyo, because abantwana umlomo wabo mhlawumbi uyaphuluka sometimes athethe izinto ezi outside, not knowing by say
speak it in the western world.
Yeah. And except for that, like uyithetha kwabantu abengame bayazi lalo. Like, for example,
like family shit, don't talk about family shit.
No, I mean, like traditional shit. Shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's traditional shit like we aren't supposed to know, that we're supposed to know it after a certain level, And there is traditional shit that we already know that yenzeka, but not knowing the significance of it, Like, what I'm saying is, Tasums, think of imbeleko, yabo. Imbeleko, we know ba. Imbeleko, as far as I know it, it's appreciating the house that a kid was raised in, yeah? And it can be done umntana esakhula okanye umntana esemncinci, because it's got to be the house that the kid is going to be raised in, or it's going to be the people that are going to. That's the significance of it, is appreciating the ancestors of the kid, being able to carry the kid that far, or being able to even bring the kid into this world, and and presenting it to them and be like, okay, bo Dlamini, bo Maduna, bo Gaba, bo Khatebe, okay, now umntana wenu ubani, cela nimazi, so that by the time initiation or other stuff traditionally has to come, they already know him traditionally, like in Beleko kubhaliswa ngokwezinyanya. But most people can't really bring it down to that, because they just see shit happening, but they can't explain that shit that's happening to them. So is that if our beliefs ezinto sizaziyo ngoku basizikhonzela ntoni, zaziphaswe down, zazidevelopwe njani ngaluphi na uhlobo. Obviously, you can't trace the original person that came with uphahla nothini, but you know significance yophahla, bawuzenzela uphahla uthini. If we had more significance on, or if we had more knowledge on significance of things happening traditionally around us, I feel like history yethu ngesiyazi even more, because we know about, okay, we can even time izinto to a certain time, like we can time it to a certain era of time. If we were able to break that down, I feel like it would be dope for us. Like sikwazi ucaciselana ba izinto ze family, like for example, there's family, like imicimbi ye family, yabo. Xa sikwazi ucaciselana phaa kula micimbi yefamily, like manenza umzekelo ibhekile uyayazi ibhekile ubonga abaphantsi uthini, but la way, if we knew its significance, we'd practice it with much more confidence, yabo. And then it's coming down to the history. Our history since thina singayazi kakuhle, is being rewritten by people who don't really even know it. But they just research, then after their research, they write what they think is closest to what is relatable to their research. Obvious, our researcher, you write exactly shit as it is, but if it doesn't really make sense for Rabanya Band, you have to strip it down, narrow, so that people can understand the basic of it. Of which is, we understand the basic most times, because Abandu, like white people, as we were talking, westernized men, come to South Africa and bafunde izinto zethu and our way of living, and then they write it in books. And then Tina Sifumaniza Nwati is phone and think we already know about what's happening now. Of which is, they didn't really do the research. Like, they did the research, but they really didn't do the thorough research, because we are the ones. We can't tell people about ourselves, but we can't be knowing ourselves. That's what I'm saying. We need to really dig into why we can't communicate with our elders with traditional ways, like even got umchita. Even like being a guy, man, like, or being a girl in the house, you need to know, okay, man, this kerisha kanje na kanje, and you can only learn that through onoti kambuza, but behavior is it good in this way? Akwazi ukunqinela xa isithi hayi kukuthi akwazi uxelela why, that communication. And then that's going to be easier xa nala form of communication, but nikwazi uncokola ngehistory yabo, ba okay, ndingubani mna yabo, Lukho, ndizalelwe apha, umama mzaye ngubani nobani, ubani zayisuka apha, ubani zayisuka apha. Ba ukwazi ucacisa ngapha kwaloo nto, at least you gave references, ba ubani is from here, ubani is from here, they can talk about it from here.
But now it's crazy, you know why?
Yeah.
Because now, when I came back,
yeah,
I got to see like my whole family from my dad's side, bro.
Yeah.
Even my cousins that I've never knew,
yeah.
like, hey, I don't know malume, like, yo, dog, it was too much.
You show your family
Yo,
bloodline.
yo,
And they don't talk about
live,
those family,
Joe.
man. They don't talk about those
And
family.
this one uncle came with my two cousins that were girls, and they talked about themselves,
like
our history, what we like to sing. Yo, Joe, I'm getting touched here. I'm like, yo,
the family had the anthem.
they have their own
band.
thing. They have our own thing, like, proud, like, of that.
That's what we need to know. Like, I wish we could get our history as deep as knowing how our ancestors got to separate into ye fun. Because baninzi ngodlamini bathini udlamini bebaninzi nje, only have a common ancestor engudlamini.
Facts, that one.
You get? And then udlamini ubani umzo wefani uze njani. How were we able to say Dlamini Mamputa, Dlamini Banban, Dlamini Sibeko, Dlamini Ban? Like, they are all people but under Dlamini, but how were they separated? Sasisuka api sonke, kwa Dlamini lo, wayesuka api. Uzafika sicele bathi nathi ngoDlamini ngoku. okanye ayenze isizwe samazulu.
It depends on where they were at. Like, look, most of us,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
not from Cape Town, man. We came here.
Eastern Cape, yeah.
We're from the East, and most of us see Sky. Transkei.
But
Lot of
trip on this. Who was talking about Koma Zimbabwe?
Yeah, the time I like.
Kukho amezulu namaXhosa namanu. You yeah, but that time I did also mention
Yeah,
that.
the time I told
you did also mention
when
that.
you went to go by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look at that. And Kaluiva, Lano. You see, I've been talking about my grandfather. My grandfather's traveled majority of Africa, like 80% of it. And not saying he's learning all the cultures, but he has asked a similar way. And he's been telling me that we in Tina, we are so biased, xenophobic against people from away from the border that
And
we can't
don't
even see.
understand why we bias against our own family members.
You know?
It's because la lack of knowledge.
You know?
Little knowledge is dangerous.
You know? And in Zimbabwe, kukho amaXhosa eZimbabwe, kukho amezulu eZimbabwe.
But dogs practicing the same thing that we are doing but different. It's just a matter of location. And it's for us to be open to the fact that we are only acting towards ababantu ngolhlobo because asiyazi imvelaphi yethu.
That's what I was going to come down to, Kengotati. Now, here's another part that is Chanayo Yungu. Teni bezobakho eZimbabwe, babes khona Mozambique, in parts of Mozambique, Botswana, it's all because we come from the center of fucking Africa. Abantu, humans, Bantu, Sen, Khoi, whatever. We came from the center of Africa. We migrated from the center of Africa to the south. Different tribes migrated to the south. Different tribes migrated to the north and able to live out their customs separately from others, but got to intertwine since abanye bantu kwezinye kingdoms established wanted to wander off and try and marry off abantu abangabaqhelanga. Now, there's what you say, cultural ideals. There was amabhaca, like people don't really get that. AmaXhosa, yabo? When you research it traditionally, the Xhosa was a separate tribe. Inga include amabhaca, amampondo, amandoni. Amabhaca namampondo namandoni got to be housed phakathi kwaXhosa.
Under the Xhosa.
So they were, because that's why they talk Xhosa now, because they under that flag. It's like colonization busu, but kengoku in a creative format, because those kingdoms were smaller than Xhosa. That's why they were able to be absorbed.
So colonization the African way.
It is, but Tina, we weren't practicing.
Xhosa was the group with the most numbers.
But Tina, we weren't practicing it. Ngola koboloba sihamba sifuna imikhosi sicela abantu ba hey so join kingdom yethu. Kingdom saw that the kingdom yaXhosa was prospering.
Okay, so
they came closer.
The kingdom of the
yes,
people.
they came closer to that kingdom so that nabo bazame uba kula level kaXhosa, because uXhosa is like, not saying they were wealthy. Xhosa was wealthy and it was the biggest tribe. Yeah, bo. So that's why they almost now like dala uchatela kule ndawo qomba hayi man kuzokunyuka khona wealth yami. Yabo. So iladinjiyana pha. Abantu be tribes.
Yabo. Keeping the wealth in between.
Abantu be tribes bavaya basa abantwana babo nendoni nefarms zabo closer to kwaXhosa bazokwazi uchatela emaXhoseni, so that uXhosa is religion spread. Now, what happened ke ngoku uXhosa, like mangathi uXhosa umntu, like Xhosa the tribe, as I'm saying Xhosa, is not saying
you
about
are referring them before yogi colonization be intertwined into.
And just think about it.
Teach.
Yabo, just think about it. Even kwa suit thina sizazi suit, like a suit, like blazers, shirts, we never weaved those. Abantu abamhlophe abaqomba bona xa beweave, it might be a style of fashion yethu, but i-shirts ayizo zinto zethu. Thina izinto zethu engamakhakha sasizenzela ngokuthi skin. We wove wool from a cotton plant. Siyenze cotton plant. We weaved wool from sheep and senze impahla yethu. We were able to make low pants. We were able to make elondo yokombatha. But besingathi siskip, besingathi indoni. We weren't really separated. Now, what I came down to is we were that tribe or tribes from the center of Africa. Some of us split to the north. The ones that split to the north are the ones that consist of Ghana, Egypt, Mandoni. The north ones are the ones that are closer to the polar, to the European side. That's why, but Europe guys, I'm exploring Africa. Egypt was the closest, and in like countries, what you say? in the ports, in the Ezizikwe bays,
The Horn.
in the no man,
Not
in
the
the
Horn of Africa.
what you saying? Like Ezikwe harbor, the countries in the harbors were able to be what you say, explored because ababandu bebekwazi ukufika kwi-harbor.
Oh, yeah,
They weren't able to explore the
Oh, like
interior.
The interior
yeah,
of Africa.
of Africa. They were able to go to the bay, and
Because they were always
Egypt
traveling
is
by
not
ship.
really interior of Africa because it's just at the top. It's just you can just cross two countries,
Many
then you
times
reach to
they've tried
Egypt.
to exclude Egypt
You know,
from Africa.
because by Zamui Solelisa kunokuma Greece, Italy, trying to make that civilization long. So what I was coming down to, point I always leave my points out. What I was coming down to that is Jeba Lukho amaXhosa amalandike eZimbabwe. It's not an excuse, or it's not a mistake la ndoba babepha. Ababantu ngabantu bafika pha abanye bagqitha bona bakhetha uhlala. And then
preserve their culture and their ways.
kaloku jonga tathi thina sesise-Eastern Cape preserving our culture and heritage and indoors sisuka sifana naba bantu qha thina singaba bazixelelayo sithi sisafika koomazimbabwe saboma awusekhona umhlaba ohlayo masihle thina ufuna uhlala apha wena mzwela mfowethu akho ngxaki mani hlala apha nawakho amaXhosa singamaXhosa sonke mos qamla lo mXhosa ke ngoku uzawukhetha uhamba andifuna uhlala apha abanye abantu badevelop around bona nabo mos other tribes are developing like the gold. Many tribes develop, but amaXhosa and other tribes. That's why tathi kukho lento kuthiwa sisintu. Isintu consists kuthiwa isinguni. That's why kukho isinguni.
Yeah, they say the Nguni tribe and the Beles, the Zulus and the Xhosas.
That's why kukho isinguni. Yabona thina siphuma kula tribe kuthiwa kukwanguni. The Nguni tribes come from the north. The Nguni tribe consists of amaXhosa, amandebele, amaswati, amazulu. Uyayiva kwa itone yothetha zinga different
languages.
Yeah, exactly. So we come from that tribe, and then we migrated to the Eastern Cape as the Xhosas of the Nguni tribe. And there were some Xhosas left of the Nguni tribe in some places of Africa, but the majority came to the Eastern Cape. That's how we came to know the Eastern Cape as the root of amaXhosa. Yeah. That's how that ifana nalandoba from the Nguni tribe, the Zulus contemplated cut themselves from the tribe, chose to migrate to a certain area which is known today as KwaZulu Natal. That's where you'll find the Zulus. We didn't just come out of nowhere. Remember, there's science behind us existing also. That science came into play. Shit had to happen. Evolution. First person to form was center of Africa. Was a black female. Came to play. We were a nation. Nation had to split up. Nation had to migrate. Nation had to move around. Tina, tribes. And we are part of its descendants, the Khoisan, to even think about it. Khoisan were old people. Old fucking people.
How are they old though?
Like
before colonization,
they were the
because
first
the
people.
one
they
thing
are 30,000 years old. They like the tribe, they can trace their history down to 30,000 years ago. And bayaphela ngoku
they just got
because
compensation now, bruh, for having some sort of a thing to do with the tea that they invested in. The government has to pay their people, bruh, because they came up with it.
Tea.
There's some sort of a tea,
like
man, they came
herbal
up
tea,
with.
man.
I'll do more research
the
on
Chinese
it,
did
bruh.
came with the tea, but we obviously had some herbs that we were already experimenting with.
So
And Lennon
Chinese
George.
Zingati wanted to claim izena,
Yeah. They're always like that, man. They always trying to steal from the black person, though.
Yeah, as you were saying, Fetu, with
I'm not
our
surprised.
tribe, dog.
So the tribes, man, like we were separated. Then Kengogu, white person came, divide and conquer. Then it happened, man. We are alienated. We are all, as Kakapumi as South Africa, God, we already alienated against each other. Ungaya KwaZulu Natal kufika ujongwe izumXhosa qome ayaya umXhosa ungaya wena eMpumalanga ufika ujongwe pha amXhosa ungaya eLimpopo ufika ujonge umXhosa umXhosa ichangana leseLimpopo liye eEastern Cape get ngoba kho bias napha changani no thina we have been taught that one thing esibulalayo ilanto ba light skin means supremacy. Of which it's the opposite.
And you see, we had to be taught that kind of way. They had to go steal our history and lay claim to it.
And redo our history.
Rewrite it to give favor. Yeah, but I love J. Cole when he said one thing about the men that write history. They will always write out their sins.
Yeah.
They will erase their sins, bruh.
Yeah.
Because they are the conqueror. Why is Africa called Africa?
Because it was named Africa by what? Europeans.
Yeah. That's not the name that your ancestors gave it. Bayazibon, and they lived according to that. And I love the knowledge you were delivering about how we were tribes before Babando wanted to colonize us and how these borders are coming into being.
Kaloku bona tati, they came with leyo nditshoyo ishirt ayizozethu intoni ayizozethu bona baze neza zinto be-actor fence. Kaloku remember, Europe's main game came after China was able to trade the gunpowder with them. They developed weapons, and then when they came to Africa, they already had weapons developed. Now,
because they've been coming to Africa many times.
Yeah, and learning a lot.
They were getting defeated. There
Using
was this army
traditional
of
means.
women. They even made a movie about it, Ngogo. Of elite soldiers.
Of women.
Of women, yeah.
Bruh.
I think it's
Women
a
King.
African
name of
tribe,
that
man.
movie.
I think it's a Kenyan tribe or something like that.
Yeah,
So
bro.
those countries, Kenya.
That's our history
don't
right
fuck with the
there.
Maasai. Don't fuck with the
Yeah,
Maasai.
Baba.
Don't fuck
Yeah,
with the Maasai.
delivery when we are not even taking awareness to that. Because what we have to even let the Europeans tell those stories. But this
That's
is
what
the
I'm
part
saying.
that we're playing, bro. Because if we letting them tell the stories, they're gonna tell it their way.
Yeah. That Tina history yethu asiyixelelana ngayo so much that abantu abamhlophe benze research ngayo then bayi-interprete ngolhlobo bayive ngalo basibhalele ezincwadini thina sifunde incwadi sicinge uba yilaa nto indlela ngolhlobo ingayo.
And look at this, bruh, how they came up in Africa and they were so much, we were so aligned with nature.
They made roads.
Yeah, Fetu. Do you know Christianity comes from the Nile, Fetu? It's a belief system that was created in the river of the Nile.
It wasn't Christianity.
Our people were living along the river of the Nile. It's if you want to get to Egypt, from Egypt to South
Travel through
Africa,
the
what are
Nile.
you gonna take?
Boat.
You're gonna take the river Nile, brother. How is this they telling us we didn't know how to travel the world, and yet everywhere you go you find relics,
Evidence that black people was
to
there.
show about we were there long before
Aborigines.
explorers were there.
Indians.
Can you go on Gange Aborigines? That hurts me. But I love that.
Hey man, we
went through a lot of pain.
let's close this one off though. We were still talking about the tribes. So as I was saying, man, the white people came after the gunpowder and what, and they tried to parade as gods. Remember, I was watching this Billy Carson episode where he was explaining about Anunnaki and what, and I used that Anunnaki concept as the colonizer because Anunnaki is mentioned.
Because the Anunnakis, they were half aliens and they were claiming to be gods.
Yeah.
They wanted people to worship them, and they were lying to the people to say, what came from them came from God.
And remember,
but Ngabo, they wanted people to worship them.
They weren't from Earth.
Yeah, we're literally
Wait. So there were people here that were from Earth.
Yeah, Anunnaki.
The Anunnakis are not from here,
the term Anunnaki is the main word for like alien, like out of this world, not from here. So the Anunnakis during the Egyptian time, you see bird heads in the Egyptian hieroglyphics, or you see those were real bird heads.
Oh, like Ezantoke.
Yeah, because they are beings from they are not beings.
They're not from here.
They are beings, but not from this time.
Oh, so were they really like that? Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
We human beings. We are beings. They were other beings, not human, but they are still beings. But they're said to be a civilization in a constellation of stars. Like civilizations that can build around stars. Most stars are a form of energy. We are built around a star. It's the sun. It's giving us so much energy. So there's mini civilization around stars that are able to travel in between. So some of them are rumored or fathomed to be here a few 100,000 years ago, or a few 10,000 years ago. We can see them through hieroglyphics. You can see discs in hieroglyphics, like discs that imitate flying saucers before we even knew what flying saucers were. Yeah. So as I was talking about that,
they were even talking about the internet in the 1900s before they even created it.
You know
what?
Yeah, there were people already predicting there's this thing that everyone is gonna live on. Then we're talking about the early 1900s, bro.
Look about Tutankhamun. When was the first knife developed? In like an iron knife, like that you can be able to use, iron is like relatively new to be used as a weapon in us, yabo, because most of our tools in the first time were used as stones. Yabo.
Yeah, kubakho la stone era,
Yeah.
stone age,
Stone
Yeah,
age,
bo.
stone
Ice
age,
age.
ice
Yeah.
age.
So Tina, we were able to use tools through the Stone Age, yabo.
Tech age.
Yeah, tech age. This is a revolutionary age. You can just say fourth industrial revolution.
Yeah, fourth industrial
Clean.
revolution.
So as Sicho, I treat white people as Anunnakis because when they came to not saying they came from no man.
I understand. I just wanted to add the banter.
We need to make
Oh,
a video
man.
podcast. So
Nee,
that
man.
everybody
See
see
the
the reaction.
Hey,
Yeah.
man.
That cognitive dissonance. New information. Oh, I love the fact that
Man.
we're dropping times. I'll
Man,
keep
man.
continue, Lukho.
Hey man, hey
Sorry,
man. So man, it's cool, man, because sometimes you need to let off the energy. Because sometimes, I can talk stuff here and be like, nah, man, did I really say that?
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I kind of said it tough in a way because I can't say I view white people as Anunnakis, but I can say it in a way that not Anunnakis as aliens from other dimensions. Because as I was explaining, the Anunnakis came to this world much for the mere fact that they're able to travel from distant galaxies and distant stars to be able to come to Earth. That shows their advancement in technology. And just think, they came with that advancement in technology way before even new civilization. Because we have hieroglyphics in Kemet, Egypt, ancient Kemet. But we know today that the first civilization was not Kemet, it was Sumerian. Now, Sumerian also have their own history. They're one of the people that are actually accredited for Ukwen's math.
Yeah,
Yabo.
as a tabs.
Yeah.
They were writing those tabs to say, but they are writing the rules that will forever of time kuzolandelwa zona, which
That
is
was
the
math.
same rules we are still going by now.
Like, abantu manje arithmetic Galileo, they just unpacked what the Sumerian were already discovering, you know. So what I was coming down to, I view Anunnakis came from other dimensions with advanced technology and forced people who were living on Earth to feel like they had to praise them. They paraded as gods. Bazenza otiko, because they had there's this weapon, yabo. Utwa ikobo developed on US Army. It's a weapon of frequency. Yabo. Utwa a weapon. It's a non-lethal weapon. Yabo. Like it can shoot from a distance of 15 kilometers. Yabo. I forgot not 15, 500 meters, I mean. Or 1.5k, I'm not sure, but it can shoot for quite a distance, and it's non-toxic, bruh. It just works with frequencies. It just points towards you, because it just makes your body feel warm as shit. Then you just run. Now that technology is just recently developed, but there's tablets and there's histories that are here from Billy Carson, and he said, that nigga's been exploring this shit. That nigga's been exploring this shit. Now he explained that there was a time when the gods, not gods, what the fuck? There was a time when the Anunnakis came with advanced technology and all that, and they came. When Ra came, you know, most Amun Ra from Egypt, the god of Egypt. He's like one of the big gods in Egypt. Amun Ra. He came with like 5 people. He's the one that says, he didn't say he's not a god. The people were saying we are Anunnaki, meaning we're not from here. But he's the one that paraded as God. He's the one that even came with that law in the Bible that ended up being translated in the Bible that I'm a jealous God.
Yeah.
He's the one that
He's
came
the
with
one
that.
that said by it, Amen.
You know?
So when you say
Amun Ra.
Amen Ra.
That's
It
him.
means you're pledging allegiance to
To
him.
him. You know?
So all this time, all these people are.
Bruh. This is the history that we're not taught. So as I was saying, Billy Carson is talking about this American technology that's being developed so that it's non-lethal. It can disperse a mob without even hurting them. It just raises your body temperature so that you feel like your skin is burning. So obviously you're gonna run. As soon as you feel like your skin is burning, you're gonna run.
Yeah,
now
boy.
he talked about how Amun Ra came to Earth and in this spaceship and people were like trying to fight them. And then one of the people he was with, one of the Anunnaki Amun Ra was with, he threw something to the people and he just pressed the button. Then all of them went down. Now, in his explanation, it seems more valid that it was more about the frequencies. Yeah. Because now, the American military is able to develop a military weapon that uses frequencies to fucking disperse crowds. I feel like those were the technologies that were long there that we just now discovered.
Guys, just that ngokuko in need, by my culture. So
No.
I'm gonna masquerade as if it's been developed for years. We've been doing this research. Kuko research scientists.
But there is already, or maybe Tati, there is that type of weapon, and they just break it down to see how it's made, so they can mass produce it.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm test trial for Hiroshima.
Hiroshima.
Oh, what happened with the nuclear bomb, bro? Hiroshima. No one
Atomic
even knew
bomb,
that
then
the
the Kawasaki.
US was prepared.
Boom.
800,000 people gone. The land toxic can't
Inhabit shit, bro.
I can praise
That's how
the
atomic-
country of Japan Fetu.
For being able to
They
advance.
have one of the biggest economies in the world
After that shit
and they've
happened.
earned that to the Japanese. Don't play with them, man.
Japanese imagination, bro. That's why anime is the biggest shit in Japan, bro. Animation, imagination. They are able
love
to,
to go to
they're able to take out all their imagination into the anime, all the shit they trying to think, all the violence, and you can just feel it, man, in how they make their animes, be the blood spill, the type of tone. You just feel it, man. It's like a movie, but you just come back to say, oh, okay, it's cartoons in a way, but it's not cartoon, it's anime. So as I was saying, that I'm coming with this concept, man. Anunnakis came to us with advanced weapons and forced us to believe that they were godly-like. And then they came with rules for us to be able to praise them and treat them as gods. Now, I treat this in the same concept as white people, because white people came from Europe, of which is Europe was unknown to us at the time, but because they underwent demelanization and were different from us, didn't have any melanin, they saw that we were a
Can
threat.
you add on as well about the Dark Age?
The Dark Age,
That happened in Europe.
Yo.
Because people forget to when the
yeah, they were
Moors
living in
came
caves. They were living in caves, bro.
We came with medicine. We came with civilization.
The Dark Ages, there was the plague. That's when the 6 feet underground rule came, because they had to be buried so deep that the virus, the disease couldn't reach people. That's when you see those masks that look like birds. Those the olden masks, man, that are worn in horror movies. That are with a hat, then you see a bird like cock, then they're wearing dark clothes. Those were the actual attire for the doctors back in that day that were handling the Black Plague. Now, the Moors are the ones that took Europe out of the Dark Ages. We already know that. The Moors are intellectual beings from the country Morocco, which is one of the most educated countries in Africa, because it has our oldest university in the world. You should look that up. So the Moors came from Morocco. White, they brightened Europe. They gave Europe, they taught Europe how to use language. They taught Europe how to build. Came with mathematics, how to study the universe and all that. And then
table, how to sort out the periodic
table. But they only had a few elements then though. So, but Dmitry Mendeleev is credited for arranging it. But except for that, compounds and shit. So as I'm saying, man, I treat white people as Anunnaki. I'm still gonna come down to the Moors and the Dark Ages, but I just want to finish on this chapter so that we know we passed it.
Okay.
So as I'm saying, I treat white people as Anunnaki because they came with advanced weapons to Africa. Africa wasn't in the Dark Age, but we were still in development. We didn't know about gunpowder, but we know how to live. We know how to be civil. We knew how to build. We knew how to count. We were looking at other things except for destruction, and they learned a lot of beneficial stuff from us that they took and reinvented for us to think that they were more advanced, because there were already other civilizations across the world that were already living by the time the Europeans came to us, like the Chinese, for example, who had already developed gunpowder. And you can see traditional Chinese attire. It's like velvet, silk, what. And do you know that the actual styling of those old Chinese attire, man, that has those colors and that diamond-shaped dragons is actually dated back to one of Chinese's first dynasties. Like, they wore that type of shit. But
so they have been preserving
that type of fashion. And just think, back in the day, if you were royal, they'd add most gold into it. That's why they had to make the silk gold, so that the people that couldn't afford it at least could make that, like, they afforded it. But we were already in line with clothing, Morocco, I don't want to say we were in the dark because Morocco had already had that cotton shit. They already made ama lap, yabo. They were ama lap, so they could already. But then you see how Muslims were. Muslim is one of the oldest religion. Muslim is older than Christianity, by the way.
Islam.
So that's why they were Muslims before Christians, yabo. So the Muslims at that time were wearing that's why yabo Muslims they are still preserving their traditional way of wearing nabo because kokwenzo amalaphu back in the day. So that ibhrukwe zazingekho.
Yeah, they are in the desert kaloku.
You see, and they were hot. They had no time to develop pants. Banxiba ezazinto ngathi lokhwe. Banxiba ezazinto ngathi lokhwe. And they are still wearing that type of stuff even today, to show that the culture is passed down. And you see, hayi kancinci ndixela nje ngempahla. Thina ezethu impahla ezababantu babenemfuyo. Kaloku thina, don't forget, we didn't grow in the cold places of the world. We didn't grow in the less tropic places in the world. We are in the mid latitude, one of the hottest places.
Mediterranean.
Yeah, like the Mediterranean Sea is by Europe. Yeah. We are in the we're in the latitude. Africa has a place where the equator, crosses, and the equator is one of the hottest places because the sun is focused there. Now, more fire, more flames, more temperatures means more energy. And like energy, that energy is somehow dispersed into the whole of Africa because our countries closer to the equator in Africa often produce dark melanated people because their melanin has to react with that sun. And that when that reaction to that melanin, look at what that melanin does for those people, higher endurance. Because you see how highly, like, I don't want to say,
you can have high tolerance.
You know, they can drink like a little water, survive for a longer in a day because they're used to that hot temperature. When they come here, it's like less hot of a place, you know. Yeah. So as I was saying, man, the white people came to us and paraded as gods by using the concept of Christianity. Now that Christianity in turn made us weak because now we didn't start believing in ourselves and how stuff we had already was working for us, you know. Yeah. And then I say they are Anunnakis because in a way they paraded to us as gods because they managed to spread Christianity to almost 80%, 70%, 60% of the world.
It was a bloody war, bro.
You know, before Christianity.
Not like they were asking people nicely, but come join Christianity.
That's what I'm saying. They came with advanced weapons, and the ones that didn't want to agree with them were weaponized. They were viewed as threats and they were killed or forced to change some stuff.
And anyone who bangafuni join a religion,
they died. And Bashkatanga is weak, like is impahla. We already had our own system of bartering in London, of creating our own clothes, but our clothes were skin
and I see another very good thing that they did, which was the advantage, Kubo, is for them to make our ways seem like they're not working.
That's why I'm coming to.
Yeah, drop yours and adopt mine.
You praise a God because you feel like if you could get to that God position, you'd be the most comfortable in your life. Now, Ababantu Bamhlophe bona made us have a system where they can control us. First, as Christianity. People who don't accept Christianity died. Yeah? Abanye babulawe in some means, but cut off resources, but alienate from abanye abantu. That divide and conquer. We were a tribe of Nguni, separated by wanting to live. Then they came to us separated, gave us so specific clothes, went to specific tribes, tried mingling with the tribes, tried learning what the tribes were doing, gave them clothes so that they seemed more civil, wearing suits
we're taking care of you.
Yeah, you see me wearing clothes.
Your resources in the
they are learning our way of life. Even now, do you see white people, they are now practicing our olden ways of life and acting like they are most natural.
Yeah,
they be like,
while they're passing over their way.
Bullshit way. But it's not, it's bullshit. But as I'm saying, they gave us gag shit, man. Like, we already had some sort of technology that could have been advanced and developed if we were only given a certain amount of time to only really chase land. But Christianity as a tool, a weapon, and basebenzisa many systems to kill our systems that were already in place.
And that, dude, fair,
Yabo.
it's so well thought out and it's systematic so much that once ingatheni yaphela already kukika in enye.
How the Anunnaki worked already. They paraded
Which
as
is
gods.
already, it's like 5 to 6 generations down the line, do you know? But
But
if the system crumbles, then
there's
already
something
Enye is
in
in place to take over.
That's the Anunnakism I'm talking about. They're trying to take their ways of where they're from
And
and
enforcing
force
it
them and into it.
on
They
the
stripped
masses.
us of our traditional ways of wearing. Uyabukela utshalela amawele, uyabukela ingqumbu yeminyanya. You see abantu benzelwe amafele amakhulu, abantu abangotata uzokwenzela ufele oluphela apha, bahambe ngogaga. If ke abantu wenzela ufele olukhulu ngenkomo, belo lafela
That
olomathe.
preservation of heritage,
You know,
bruh.
that shit ended when the clothing came, because clothing liyenza abantu aqome ngcama John dlalele isitwe no kon civilized jonga la muntu uhambe veza amathanga pha yaphela ke ngoapho we stopped building huts because we started feeling like huts money hut, and forgetting that as a hut were never a problem for centuries, 3-5 centuries for us.
Bro, we lived in those huts for thousands of years.
We didn't have, but white people came, they started forcing us to do into that were more Europeanized.
Yeah, to get us away from our
Kaloku
way of
bona
living.
enye into babezama like ufila like they were home, you know, like trying to bring certain aspects of home
And yes,
so that you can
Europeans
thrive.
did not come with to Africa with the land on top of them.
Aye.
The land was in the hands of the Africans.
You know, and they didn't just do it to Africa, Keliwe. That's another thing we were coming to. They also did it to America. They also did it to China. They also did it to Australia. In Antarctica, there's Eskimos there, but the Eskimos, they underwent demelanization. You know, they underwent demelanization. Why? The temperature in where they live is so low that it doesn't need their melanin to really react with them. You know, melanin is a process that acts against the sun, trying to protect the inner body of you from getting direct heat. Now, there's no direct heat that needs for it to be protected from. Same thing the Europeans underwent. Was the first fucking black person was from Africa. Then they made a main nation. Then they outspread the nation. Now, Europe, when the white people got to Europe, they got to Europe during that time of the Ice Age. Now, the Ice Age was when the continental plates were moving and it was frozen over Europe. That's when the polars were too cold. Now, at that time, majorities of the places in Earth were also cold because the polars are the main sources of the coldness. So they just come somewhere in the middle. During that time, Africa was still the hottest place to be because it was still closer to the equator. The sun was still striking there. We couldn't lose our fucking melanin. White people had to lose their melanin because why? They weren't needing their melanin to react with the sun.
To the sun, because the sun was in our face.
They had to lose their frothy hair because their hair had to grow.
Even the nose.
Like their hair had to grow slanted, not upright towards the sun, because they had to protect their necks. Remember, the neck in natural science and life sciences or whatever, this part here in the neck is one of the most important ever. That's why you can see in movies they cancel that connection between the body and the brain. Kaloku, the spinal cord is the connection of the brain and how you can move your other parts of your body. Now, if this connection is split, death is assured because you can't move any parts of your body. Now, they had to, you know, temperatures. There's that thing, you know, awuzofa ugodola kakhulu uthi ufe ubuziva ngaloshushu then ucishe. Now they had to avoid lo way bagodole kakhulu to bacishe bayinole zabo zikhule kanti so that zizongakwazi ukukhanselisha le connection between the brain and the body. They had to keep that heat here because if there was coldness here, something would have happened to them because they would have cancelled that connection. So their hair had to adapt mayikhule slanted izokwazi izokwazi ucoverisha neck yabo ezobashushu, you know. They had to undergo demelanization because they don't need to use their melanin for ilanga elingekhoyo pretend during the ice age. No, they had a different appearance from where they come from. Now iqale kubo into in alienate because babana inferiority complex. Maybe white people came mhlambe Africa out of exploring after the ice age and they saw no man. But white people didn't come to us. I remember now the Moors went to Europe. Almost after the Ice Age,
After they civilized
it was the
Europe.
Dark Ages.
Yeah.
After the Ice Age, it was the Dark Ages.
And then the Moors came
And they civilized, yeah.
Europe.
And we actually civilized Europe twice, not just once. We civilized Europe during the Roman times. Then it was the fall.
After Roman had
Kaloku.
after the Roman Empire
Had fallen. Then after the Greek Empire had fallen, then the Roman Empire came. The Caesar. Kaloku, remember, all the Greek influences were how the people were living in Egypt. That's Egypt. Wait, that's Kemet. Jonge pictures of Cleopatra, we history. Ujonge pictures of Julius Caesar. It's almost similarities. Umbono Cleopatra lelisunga ecala. Umbono manazi fruit zigcwele. Cleopatra is an Egyptian queen. Uye ku pictures of Caesar. Bona they even fucking allow wheat so just to babeke as a fruit still and lie in the same position, because that was the symbol of sort of that civilization. We took it from them. Now we're doing it. That Anunnakism I'm still talking about. So except we took Europe out of the Dark Ages 2 times, man. During the Egyptian time, and then the Moors came during the Dark Ages. Before the Greeks, they were living in caves. Then the Greeks were civilized. Then the Greek fell. Roman Empire rose. Then they fell again. But when they fell after the Roman Empire, that's when the Dark Ages came, young. So they were already civilized. They had a little bit of clothing, but they had sickness. They did not know about cleanliness. They did not know hygiene. They did not know hygiene. Then the Moors came. The Moors started. The Moors.
We are creating a piano, son. Already that time.
Bruh, and it was only a matter of, it's not even 20 years. How many genres have already came out of South Africa, man? It was not even 30 years. How many genres have already come out of South Africa? Original genres.
Like, look at Kwaito, Brian, how it still lives and breathes, and Amapiano and Yonkel, and we are a beacon fit of Zonga is. I'm thinking also about Miriam Makeba's legacy, bruh.
No, it's a heavy
and how
one,
through her gift to Fetu, she was fighting for our people. It was not.
It's same with Brahu, Same with Brahu.
Many icons, Fetu.
Same with Sipho, Sticks Mabuse. Those people are in the forefront of making music and education and liberation a priority for all black people to be able to acquire without any struggles. You know, they're one of the people that actually opened the doors for us to be able to go and perform in places we weren't able to be allowed to be performing. You know, one of the people that made music that's so relatable that when you play a song, you're like, yesh, kumbuze bshinbam. You know, that's the Africanism about it, man. And as I was talking about it, we took, after the Moors, yeah, now here's the bad story, how it came. After the Moors came to enlighten Europe, if I could put it like that.
Yeah.
Once the Moors wrote the Spanish language, they even a black person wrote the Russian language. So what you talking about?
I was speaking French and
you
Russian
know,
at one point.
you know what I'm talking about. Do you know that there are black Chinese people? Why do you think Chinese people can be in BEE? Chinese people, they have so many business in South Africa because they have shares in the black economic empowerment system. And why would they have that? Because they are black. Chinese people are black, bro.
Yeah.
You can go to China. You can go to China. Research that shit. They hide their black people.
Also in Japan,
They seclude them.
They hide them.
Baba Beka Kwindawo is the islands, less resources.
It's like racism in some
And you could see those people by Nancy Afro. Nancy la large nose. Those are thick lips. Small eyes, but black.
This looks like a colored, bruh. Sorry, not a colored.
Like
black woman.
Like, even colors, man, is black. It's black.
Black as well.
So it's say, that's what they're even doing in China. That's what they did. They alienated the black skin and made the white skin seem more elite, more superior. When in fact it's the opposite.
The darker you are, the more intelligence you have.
I love what Nigeria just did with black models only. That's there's only black models advertising products and shit in Nigeria. No white shit, even its hair products, black shit. So as I was saying, man, after we took Europe out of the Dark Ages as the Africans, Moors, as Morocco, we taught them a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Why you got so much knowledge, bro? Yo, like for real, dog. You fucking crazy.
I look up some shit,
crazy,
man,
dog.
I look up some shit, and
He ain't done yet. Give the nigga his time.
And you know, man, the more you read, the more you know you don't know.
Yeah.
Bruh. Next. Yeah, but with you saying that, it kind of makes me feel gassed up, you know, I won't lie.
Yeah.
But in a way, I know I don't know shit, bruh.
It
As much as I'm
tells you,
explaining all of this, it's explained based off fact, of research, of what. But at the same time, I don't know shit. There's so much I don't know, you know? And I love that I can be able to.
Knows that, a
Yeah.
genius knows that he knows nothing.
Man,
We
you
know
know,
nothing.
I love that you guys are actually giving me the opportunity to talk about this stuff, because when I'm researching it and looking it up, it just seems like I'm crazy, because I'm just trying to get to know what's what and why is that, you know. I'm trying to get the reasons behind so many things, and it's so I'm highly appreciative of the opportunity that you guys give me to actually listen.
Always,
you know. You know, man.
Oh, yeah.
I highly appreciate that.
Nah, the floor is always yours. If you're
Yeah.
we were trying to colonize minds up.
Yeah.
We're trying to make you see, but no, man, you are slipping on your own greatness.
Man, there's more to life than
because
just.
if you could know a whole lot more about this, you would stop believing in all these lies. You would understand this is wrong. There are distraction, and that it's against us because for a reason, dog.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're not lying.
Why would they go to extenders to must make sure bas nazi resources
For us
but we're in that position. Even though it's not, we are creators, man.
I was saying that.
We are always trying to excel. Now, there are people who have it all, but because having it all is all that matters to them. But how about we think about the next generation, They need a better slate than Tina. If it's too much, dog.
Yeah, man.
Because the things we are being taught, if it is uplifting, we have to seek them out. As an African, a young, ambitious African man, I have to seek out my own knowledge, the knowledge that empowers me.
Yes, sure.
Not the one that was written by a person who doesn't look like me. Not my conqueror. Not my colonizer.
Yes, sure.
I'm talking about our history that was shared orally. Because the African history, don't find it in books, man.
Never.
Yeah, man, you see how we have misled Abandwana. And instead, we are saying, no, look on the outside. That's why even older people now, they're giving up because they're asking themselves, why are these kids not seeking these things? Why does it feel like these kids are not questioning? Is this thing strengthening them towards being an African person? Because all you are teaching me now as a young black man is that always be the worker. Always beg. We are beggars in our own country, bruh.
Hey, man. That Africanism is what Credo Muta was fighting for, man. Like, Credo Muta was fighting
We
for
let
that.
outside entities, if to come in and take our wealth. They take over everything we own, and we make it okay to be menial. And we treat our fellow brothers in Jani. Because the same person who colonized us taught us he's from another country. They put borders. That's why in our brains there are still borders still.
Okay.
Because you do not know you are hurting your brother there. If you could go into your family tree, bruh. I'm calling out even on the parents who are holding out on the important history.
Yeah.
Because of letting their emotions get into the way. Please. Information. Because kids are gonna make babies out. You could be making babies with your sister, bruh.
And we're gonna have limited time on this earth, bruh, to be able to explain all this. So might as well give the kids.
I will shock them, bruh, because Nati, we are meeting these things and it's shocking us. And now everyone is saying, why are you not messing yourself up, as if messing yourself up is part of the process? What am I supposed to believe all these lies that are being told? But there's more to the story. Even in high school, they said that, no, Tando, we are not in varsity. Grade 11. When we were learning about Hitler, bruh, they push so much on how umdu ngolile. They won't tell you of all the good stuff that a person did, bruh.
Yeah.
Hitler uplifted the German economy.
It was Germany.
Yeah, he was
Germany is the first world
his
country
people
to
first. Look what happened
German
to
precision.
the
German
latest
engineering.
president, Kagame. Look what Kagame said. If you are a pastor, you must have a theology, a degree. People must stop opening churches because they want to make money, bruh.
Yeah.
And I admire that president for that. More and more presidents should go into that, bruh. This thing of exploiting our people with the religion, bruh.
But get that, yeah, we're still coming to Lendo. Let's close Lendo, yeah, Moors. Moors took the Europeans out of the Dark Ages. The Europeans saw themselves way too advanced, so they traveled the world with a little bit of knowledge and experiencing some other people's cultures, and they got to other parts of the world and killed people who didn't agree with their idealism. Killing was genocides, and these genocides are not talked about in history.
70 million people.
Bruh, there's
over
many
700 years.
there's many
killings
genocides
commissioned by the Pope.
commissioned by the king, the Queen of England. And what I'm coming to is that we as Africans, the main people of this world, even when there was Eurasia, Pangea, when the world was still combined, Africa was in the center.
Before the continental
Drift. Africa was always in the center. Let's gonna stay in the center for
the cradle of humankind.
we can't run away from that. Now, we taught Europe how to conduct themselves, how to be people, how to use technology in a way that the technology we had then, how to use books, how to use language, how to use music, how to write down music. We taught them poetry. We taught them a lot. And they got to know about, hey, man, I'm a human now. I can express myself through poetry. I can express myself through this and this and that. And they saw that, nah, man, that black person that was here, I need to visit them, man. And you know what's surprising for me? They saying Christopher Columbus is the father of America, right?
The founding father.
Founding father. How the fuck did he get
cap
to?
on that, bro.
How the fuck did he get to
He
America,
had some black
bro?
people on that ship, bro.
Bruh, that's what I'm saying.
He had some black.
Black people from Africa were already traveling from Africa to other parts of the world already. Sorry. But when white people got the opportunity to do that, abayisebenzisanga ngolu hlobo abantu abamnyama bayisebenzise ngalo, yabo? Abantu abamnyama bona traveled the world, bafika kuloo ndawo. We most likely got to places before white people must, because there's evidence that we were there before white people. And there's even sunken cities. And most evidential shit you could ever see that a black person was there is a fucking pyramid, bro. Go to the Mexico, there's those Pocahontas rainforest type shit, man. There's pyramids there. You can go to underwater cities that have like, it says Anquilayo long millions of years ago, or 100,000, not millions of years, man. Like civilizations underwater that sank like over 20, 50,000 years ago. You can see pyramids there. Pyramid is like the main evidence that a black person was fucking here. I just tell you that. So, through ezo zinto, abantu abamhlophe babona ba no, man. Aba bantu nje besifundisa ezinto, they are the ones that we come from. But ke ngoku njengoba besifundise izinto ezingaka thina basifundise utravelisha around the world, sabona iChina, sabona indoni. Bona bakazibona iChina, thinking that we haven't seen China, because when they got to China, they got there in the first dynasty, and the first dynasty was led by a white Chinese person, Then that's how they viewed white as supreme in China. That's why in China you have to be white to be considered really Chinese. And that's why in Europe you have to be black, to be white to be considered European, because they saw that color of them as a supremacist tool rather than just being not different from another person per se, just not having that melanin, And melanin produces a lot of shit for us, but it's outside the point. So after we taught the Europeans how to live, all this stuff, the literacy, the math, they went around the world with their own shit. Because remember, another thing we gave the Europeans is we built them castles. And we are the main people that came with monarch systems. We are the ones that had kings, that had queens, that had, we gave them those systems so that,
royal families black.
We gave them those systems. And people even still today, the first king of England was King James I. He's in research and in biology known to have been a black person, but in history they won't tell you that, and they will show you in Google that King James I was a fucking white person. They will show you in those pictograms.
What do you expect? No Google,
So as I'm saying, we taught them so much that they got to like we babied white people. Let me just say that we came to white people with them having a baby mindset. And through generations and generations and generations of our Moorish people going to Europe and teaching them certain stuff, they became adults.
Yeah.
They became teenagers. They became adults. So much that they got into that adult mindset. Like, batala enough.
But we know more. Bro.
Like, we know more. And there was Pumela without using a black person's map. But I think a bit both they can travel on their own. They started using it against us. Wrong, of which is we didn't do wrong shit, bro. We were just nice to teach them stuff so that they know that there's more to life than just living in caves. There's more to life just not having hygiene. There's more to life than not having literature. We were just there for Londo, for Rabanamoko, but they used it against us. Wotini, ngothi thina sibafundisa bazenziwa njani iboats neroutes ezithile furuya kwindawo ezithile bayo kwezo ndawo bona bafike bazenze ingathi bazi more kunathi kwezo ndawo bafike and bafike bathini bakopole eza civilization and get them to teach them stuff about how they work and then turn against those civilization bazothatha la ndlela yophila yabo bayiqhubekekise kulaa mhlaba bawugqiba ucolonize. How did that happen? We had aborigines. Aborigines are the native. When you say native, we mean original person of that land. They are the natives of Australia. Now, Australia, if you search the Aborigines, you'd see abantu abanxibe bunje ngamakhwesan. Why would they have that culture? Because their ancestry is here in Africa. And that's why they have that similarity. They would wear napkin-ish, then hide. Then ezazinto is very similar to how Khois and the San people, hunters gatherers were wearing in Africa. They had bona indo it distinctive about them, which was a fringe. They had long hair, yabo, but they had a fringe. Even their hair was the Aborigines. They had afros.
Original black people of
They had
Australia.
afros, and then they fringed the afros. So they had long afroic hair, and then they fringed the afros. But those people were killed, and we were never told about
The British came
Now
and
look,
killed them all, bro.
the British is the king of all the common realms. Australia is one of the common realms. So there's prime ministers. There's prime ministers. There's prime ministers in those countries because the king is ruling over them. Now, look at majority of Australia's population today. It's white. You barely see black people there. If you are black, you're probably treated as a
And they're probably teaching our kids, but
origin and no. America to come. Indians were already in America, and I've already explained.
Indians are black.
I've already said.
That's a history lesson already.
We already established about Australia was full of black people before white people came. We already established that Asia was full of black people before white people came, because we have many black religion, black cultures, black people in Asia.
Look at the hair of the Buddha.
Look at the hair of the Buddha.
It's not, but
and type of stuff like that. And except for the hair of Buddha, look at the average Indian guy, man. It's black now.
Man.
And you see how Indians can produce the most beautiful hair. Do you know you can have an Indian that looks like a fucking white person? Like Womba. You can just see out of the Indian antics that she's Indian. Otherwise, if she just keep quiet, you just probably think it's a dark-haired white person. Those white person with those white Indians with very pretty hair. You think, damn, that's a white person. But that's an Indian. It's sort of like that with the Chinese. But with the Chinese is that they were more majority of white than the black. That they had to sink out the black and act like they did never existed. So we already established
the
that
black at the back.
Yes, sir.
Keep the black at the back.
That's the unfairness of the situation, man. But as I'm saying, we already established that Australia is black. Already established that Asia is black. Because Genghis Khan, even though he's Asian, was a fucking black person, man.
That person had so many kids, bro.
That nigga. Do you know at one point he had descendants. Like he still has descendants today.
China,
like even across the world, bro.
But
other
I
places.
know only of
They have
China.
the son
bruh.
of Khan.
No,
No,
man, like
you bloodline
descendants.
yak.
Like if you could touch, you could get some
Everyone, a
DNA
lot of them,
Genghis
a lot
Khan.
of your families are tracing back to Umshi.
Yeah, Genghis Khan. So as I'm saying, we already established that Asia is black. We already established how people in Europe were black and underwent demelanization and weaponized not having their blackness
So they
against
went
us.
black and they came back white.
You know?
Because
And then
of the weather. Because of the climate, man.
no.
There ain't no sun there in Europe.
Michael Jackson, then
No.
Michael Jackson.
You know,
Nah, he did it on purpose.
Michael Jackson.
He didn't want to be black.
damn.
Yo, that's
yeah.
crazy if you put it like that.
Nah.
You're black and nigga walk with sister
Michael
of cold
Jackson
age.
and shit.
Hey, Michael Jackson. You guess what Michael said?
Nah,
Long hair.
Michael's crazy, man. Michael is crazy. Why did he have to tell her that? He was a pretty black boy,
Like
man.
at the Pepsi commercial.
Yeah.
What shit so anyway?
Oh,
That burnt his hair off, so then he had to wear that wig. It wasn't his hair, like, wait.
shit.
It was a wig.
Man.
Kalokum shit, he had an afro.
Ain't
Yeah,
no
I remember.
excuse to go white, bro.
Nah, man. I appreciate being
Nigga
black
ain't
every
Caucasian,
second of it.
man. He a black man.
And I remember he used to. I watched a video of that guy used to change his accent, like not the accent, but you know sometimes he wanted to sound soft.
Exactly
But
like
yeah,
Michael Jackson.
there's a video where he was talking. Yeah, man, you know something. Oh, don't talk. Hey, Mike, in the voice said, then when I hear the other videos, I can hear his faking it.
You're a black man.
What the hell? Let's listen to what I said. I'm not he's another person.
Hey, sit down, motherfucker.
Exactly. That nigga. Do you know what I found out yesterday?
Yeah.
That he made a song with Biggie on Invincible album. Michael Jackson featuring Biggie. What? Hi. Why didn't I know this shit? Mike and Biggie were coupled.
Except even him and Pac were couple.
Nah, they
They
were
almost made a song.
I'm actually talking about Kabana.
Hey, Michael Jackson took him for a push.
And Pac was just, no. Pac,
No, Michael Jackson didn't want to pull up to the studio. That's the problem.
No,
Yeah,
it goes
yeah.
deeper than that.
Yeah.
Pac used
Yeah.
to talk shit. He said something about Mike when he was still a teenager. His videos up,
Yeah.
boom.
Oh, Jackson 5.
Yeah, no.
Like when Pac was a
in
teenager.
in
Oh,
high school.
teenager.
He
Wow.
spoke some, because Pac was always in that poetry. Like
Ah,
this
he
way,
was radical, but
Yeah.
his mom was in the
Black Panthers, yeah.
Yeah. So umshita man bukhona enye video umshita shit about Mike. So then Mike never really liked that like that.
Yeah.
So Mike coupled when they had the beef. Biggie, no, Pac. He chose Biggie's
Biggie's
side,
side.
bro. So that's why in '95 they made that record that ended up being an Invincible album, which
Yeah.
was released in 2001.
But another thing that happened between Mike and,
Yo,
and
that song
Mike
is
and
crazy. I
Pac.
listened to it.
Another thing that happened between Mike
Oh,
and Pac.
Biggie, Mike the Biggie. I was like,
We need to listen to that joint.
yo.
We need to listen to that joint.
Nah, no cap.
I need
It's a
to
pity
play
I
that
didn't
joint.
download it, man.
Man. But as I was saying, man, I was trying to explain because Michael Jackson also, I think in '95, he stood up Park at the studio. He's like, he's not gonna record in the same studio where Park is. Park should just be there, then he's gonna come at his own time. And Park was like, nah, I'm finna vibe with you. Since like Michael Jackson.
Yo, they would have made one of the best
Yeah,
songs ever.
so except Michael Jackson didn't agree to be in the same studio as Umchi. It took like
Because
Park
of
as a
his
little
time.
correct.
Yeah,
Then
Thug Life shit.
Park was like, if you're not gonna be in the studio and vibe with me, why are we gonna make the same joint? Rather we not record. Then with the bitterness came in, you know. But we're still talking about the genocides, man. They killed the Native Americans, man. They killed the Spur people, man. People with the taste for life. If you wanna know about
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Hey, man.
And the electricity is
Like,
back.
yeah, I've been seeing this, man. I've been seeing this. It's been back.
Yeah?
For the past 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Nah,
I
it's
just
for a
came back
few
now.
moments just now.
Few months.
Now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm tripping, man. So the white people have done so much shit that they hide their shit and try to present the clean history because they've messed up the world, bro. And they noticed that they've messed up the world. By the time of reform, they have everything that the world had to offer, and now they have to share it back with the people of the world, and that's one of the difficult parts for them because they can't give.
omit certain things.
They have to
so
admit
that
now.
they look innocent and all that.
But they got us in many things, man.
But
Like,
you know the other thing that I love about what's going on now is the
Yeah.
fact that there is this it's like this age of enlightenment that's going on.
Yeah,
out
that's
here,
what I'm
man.
loving now. Man. I'm
Like
fucking
people
with it
feel
all
to
a
it's
lot.
easy for you now to not fool them, bruh. Because now people go in research fit. I would advise a lot of people. Lukho is this informed fit because he didn't even read, bruh. He go research shit. You don't become this way fit to J, dog. And kudos to you, dog, because you put yourself la responsibility. So that you just don't believe, that you are being fed.
We always must search for the shit that we don't understand, bro. That's the main shit. If you don't understand, research until you do understand. Then you're gonna get... But it becomes more enlightening also about team. Like, also about research alone and why. Because once you're not fully into it, now we're go interested in
but it must feel like you're unlocking levels.
And
the more informed, now you have to make better decisions. Because you have new information now, and how do you move accordingly from there onwards? And there's nothing wrong in you to reviewing what you had made previously, because time do change.
And there's nothing wrong with not knowing sometimes and being wrong.
You can also guilt trip yourself over years. Yo, bruh, I have been sitting way all these years and I didn't know I could bring so much value to when. Like, forgive yourself. There's nothing wrong. At any day you can turn the corner and things, they just happen for you. Because you decided to go to be open and go your faith. Those things, they don't come to you too easily. Now if you go be I want them to happen for me. It's not easy, dog, but in this world, ignorance is a choice, bro.
Yeah.
You choose to be ignorant, you choose, and we want to be remembered, dog, in this world. And I've always said to myself, I am willing to do what others are not willing to do so I can get what I want.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not gonna put that on nobody.
Shit.
Niggas don't wanna
They
put it
don't
in
wanna
words.
put that on
Sacrifice
nobody,
shit.
bruh.
It's about sacrifice, nigga.
Yeah,
Sacrifice shit.
and us also teaching each other valuable things, man, because we're young, we can't be young, dumb, and forever. Where we are 30 or even 35, and we're still reminiscing on our 20s. Yo, I wish I had made better decisions. Like, it's the time now.
Sad today.
Move accordingly, bro. It's like even the partner that you're looking out there for. Because I always say is, as much as I'm looking for the person who's going to sustain me, how about what kind of values would that person because we want better, but are we thinking, what do I want? Songs, we work so much on avoiding and you don't even bother spending any time on working on what you want for you, bruh. And now you put that blame on other people. I'm at this place because of Uban. That is so easy, man.
It's so easy.
That's so easy, man.
You complain, you stay the same.
You know how easy that is, Lukho, bruh? Huge amounts of potential, bruh. That's why I respect everybody.
But
I do not know what lessons you could have been serving me.
You know, some people don't reach their potential because they're scared.
They rule by fear, dog. You ain't lying there, So it's rather that they compromise to then stick it out. Because I've seen like good people to not sticking out, because when I look at they fail to look for habits that were gonna sustain them. I needed to stay with myself, dog. Whatever I did, I was like, dude, you ain't doing this to make others feel good about them. You're doing this for you. Man. You get to live with you, dog.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
How about you start making sustainable decisions? And dog, you have to man up from a young age. You see, as a young black man, there's this narrative to that ipushwa out here that you don't have to do it yourself. I think I'd rather fail at doing something that I love and figure it out than me staying there in fear and contemplating what if
I did that?
And you know, Tati, to know where you're going, you gotta know where you're coming from, And I feel like where you're coming from is deeper than how long you've been on this earth, It also comes with the people that came before you, and you gotta understand how they were living and how they were doing good and how they were doing bad, so that you try and avoid the bad that they did as much as you can.
Learn from the mistakes.
That's why, man, we can go deep in our history, back to even the Kemet, the Sumerian, because we're trying to get people to really know what was happening before we even thought of having what we have today. And you know, that's gonna at least help us shape a better future, because the decisions that they made like 2,000 years ago or something like that, like
still affecting us.
you know, they still have a sort of influence good, and it's better like I say siyazi le ndawo sisuka kuyo uzoyazi ba uyaphi, and it's not about uyaphi ngoku apha ku lifetime yakho. As I've said, as we've learned, there's different dimensions to this shit. As we've learned, there's different energies to this shit, you know. And xa silapha kuligada asibalanga uba sizophelela apha, even though we want our name here to remain. It's only the name that's going to remain after you not there. So if thina we like vulela ingqondo yethu kulaa nto yoba singajongeli ukwenzela izinto for ixesha loba thina ngeli xesha siphila sibe nakho, sijongele ba okay, what about the plan? Is how might I come with a plan that's going to work for people for the next 50 to 100 years?
Into ezawuphila.
That's generational influence.
That's
generational influence.
That's the other thing I also took from the audiobook I was listening to.
Yeah.
Brian Tracy talk about no excuses.
Yeah.
Successful people think long term. Unsuccessful people think short term. They're always looking for short term gains. That's why they don't want to put in the work. That's why I said blood go. All those freestyles, it will get to a point where it comes naturally in the blood.
And it just comes.
You're just doing that thing. Because the other thing I've admired about you is that you've chosen a lane and stuck to it.
Sure.
And you're just looking for easy that are gonna reinforce and keep you in that lane exactly. Even further. It's much more bigger than but it's also about the person that you're becoming. I think this is why I love getting up every morning.
Become a new person.
Yeah, G.
Facts.
I get to discover shit, dog. It's like I crossed on a clean slate to be like, there are things that I didn't know about myself that I'm going to discover today. Let it be. I get out that door and I walk accordingly.
Shit.
And then you discover that because we go to the internet, we interact in a band, loan information. There are many different ways that you learn about yourself. Like, yo, you recall a lot of things. That's why when Lukho is sitting down and we're recording an episode, you are recording zonke zazinto.
That you learned,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And that's another good way for you to learn, bro.
And you learned it in solitude, right? Yeah, that's the best.
So what you do in solitude comes out in
Man, I feel like solitude is the best, bro.
Yeah, it's a superpower, bro.
You're your best friend, don't you notice sometimes?
I even see it now, going in a phone. Like, after I've lost my phone, like, I've done a lot of self-indulging, you know, like getting into myself and trying to get to see, but without the phone, what would I want?
Yeah.
Because the phone is always
Things
occupying.
work.
Like, phone is always occupying the mind, man. You know, you gotta do some shit on the phone. There's a message from Ban. Ban is gonna call you. Ban is gonna,
dopamine
you know,
effect, man.
You know, and that dopamine effect is real.
Muth has been telling me that about how the social dilemma like made him aware, man, of social media. He's back now, like for productive things and so on. Like I love the refreshing effect that it has, so that you kind of know by if I overindulge, because the thing I don't want us guys to see like from Yona is the fact that there's productivity, that there's energy that we can push by that is quite different. Observe, but okay, what is my relationship towards Lewi? Because I don't want to lie for you. When I started out on Facebook, it was a very toxic relationship. Now on Facebook, it wasn't that popular even here like that. I don't want to lie. I used it for pickup, bro.
Yeah, to hook up with chicks.
That's the only shit I used it for, bro. Yeah,
Facebook.
Before I don't mix it,
It's just real mix it. Yo.
These kids that don't know mix it now.
Bro, they will never get to. But we relive that, bro.
Yeah, that's what I did say to this.
Have an episode where we're just discussing social media websites during our teenage years. That had a huge impact because Mixit was killing it in Africa, bro.
YouTube been crunching it though, niggas. Nah,
YouTube got to
YouTube,
late 2000s.
From where it was developed, it's still crunching even till today. Even the Vines they went onto YouTube. The Vines went onto YouTube after Away.
The King Patch. He's the goat of Vines. He's the goat.
Damn.
2016, the Vines, Joe. That time. Even the year had so much creativity, Joe. You rap.
And Bonil?
Rap changed. That year.
Hey, man.
That mumble era.
izinto bezingakusapose zihlala
Yeah.
one way.
But one thing I must say, man, this as much as our episode is full of today's episode we talked about a lot of stuff, and for me it's just food for thought for if anyone who's gonna listen here and hear something, and, you know.
We're gonna be dropping times even more, man. That's why man. I love being around the energies as in dog. They make me namdi and they realize about dog, my game is on, man. I need to just pump it fit because I want to be a beacon of hope always.
Yeah.
But first of all, I need to hold myself responsible. Hey, when you go out there, you give 120%.
That's it. This is why I wanna go into social work, man. So that by the time this podcast is really on its feet, it really has people who can really talk to people. You know?
Where we have experts who are like us, and abantu who just want to empower and kind of like give us directions because that is what I love about the podcast space. I didn't even see how powerful it was when I started because here I was just throwing myself because I thought just throwing the word podcast would sound nice and then I shifted my mindset towards now comes the work with the podcast. Now
episodes.
There has to be umsebenzi, there has to be ideas, there has to be those kind of things. And I just had to start with myself. We were like, there's this something, man. Season 1 and season 2. I went through to high school. I just wanted to start with that. And then when I got onto that, things started to hit fit. That's why I'm always like, I'm just throwing you.
That's the thing.
That's the benchmark of it for unyaka already. And the podcast is turning a year in November. And it's
big ups, man.
fair to I just give myself all the credit.
You need to.
When I didn't want to go and do all that.
You guys need to
talk
about.
That's what I was saying. It's already a product.
At that point, I was like, this is record.
Yes. Yeah, we've been coming, though. Been coming.
Yet another lovely and impactful episode. Until next time, namaste.